unless... I know it's going the opposite here.
Unless star factor at the ground, too. Not to interrupt your train of thought there.
But unless Carlton get off the fly, they'll certainly be all over early. But if I think you can see St Kilda into it, and I think they'll wear them down. I think Carlton with their class, that'll wear them down. And we've got
enjoy watching. Looks like it's going to be a fiery start at Etihad Stadium. Your commentator is Brian Taylor.
No free kicks. Sam, I'm right here, mate. No free kicks, all right? Nothing silly.
He's been good, Andrew Walker, since he came back into this team, averaging 20 disposals and a couple of goal stars. He just gives them a lot of life in that forward line. A good hit-up target, can take a mark, gets the job done at ground level as well.
Yeah, big night as well for the man about to take the first. But Stanley McAvoy is a big out. He has to stand up big time, that young man, Reece Stanley.
Yeah, Stanley and Blake, huge jobs to fill tonight. Judd, Robinson, who's hungry. That's got to be a throw.
Away, free kick, St Kilda.
Clear call by umpire McBurney.
Play on.
Goddard around the back. Just trying to thread the needle. Did it nicely. A man in great form. Jack Stephen on to Hayes. Hayes to Rewalt. That is perfect football.
That's a great start.
Stephen, take him with you, mate, please.
Henderson got a little block there, and it allowed Nick Rewalt to get 5 metres on him. It was great play.
That's just about the perfect kick, Richo. 1 centimetre low and it's a half volley, but that is undefendable. If you can slide in as a forward, as you know better than I do, defenders have got no chance at all.
Spot on, Das. That is what you want as a forward. The ball put out into grass in front.
Give us one chance.
9 goals, 9 this year. Make that 9 goals, 10 for Nick Rewalt.
Yeah, he'd be disappointed, Nick, as key forward. You want to put your first one through. It just gives you a lot more confidence. We know Nick, over the years, if he gets off to a bad start with his kicking, it can creep in for the whole night.
Tui, big job to kick in. Almost went over the line there as well. It's a fantastic kick out to the city side. Here's Garlett. Look at the boots he's got on tonight. Look at the pink wheels go here. Garlett takes them all on. What a penetrating run and a very good kick. Waite got tangled up. Blake, Walker, tackle. That's letting the ball go. He did not handball. He did not kick it. Should have been an umpire call there.
There's a great tackle from Andrew Walker, as we see.
Give us the footy. Give us the footy. Give us the footy. Give me the footy.
Oh, gee.
Give me the footy.
High contact there. Umpire, he's keen to get it moving.
Little jumper punch there.
Yeah, almost one that should have been picked up. Walker, a little high one on Goddard. The speed of Carlton is a real concern for the Saints. You saw it there. They are lightning the Blues.
Don't they like it when it gets outside in the hands of Jeffy Garland?
Sam Gilbert.
Free St Kilda ball here.
Looks like Clint Jones is going with Mark Murphy tonight.
Have a look at this.
Right there.
You can just see the little
jumper punch.
Push of the jaw there. Shocking kick. And that'll be a free going the way of Waite, I think. Gilbert, not the start he wanted. Mitch Robertson certainly lets him know. So Waite from a really acute angle here. Has a look inside. 20 metres out. You would think almost a drop punt from here. I don't know why the umpire called play on there, but that's magnificently milked. A little bit of left to right fade, and the Blues get the first. So Carlton, through Jared Waite, off to a very, very nice start, a lively start. There's a lot of this going on at the moment. And a bit of frustration creeping in here. Umpire McBurney said, we're balling it up now.
Well, he's going to do it inside the ad break. Umpire McBurney, I'm not sure he can do that, can he?
Don't go high. No free kicks. Let him go. Steve, don't go high.
That little skirmish there has been going on for the last 10 seconds or so. And a very, very heated start to this game. A lot of friction happening out there, boys.
Certainly is. The Saints had 2 players loose behind that centre bounce stoppage.
Opportunity for the ground level ball. Saad, the first gamer of last week.
He hasn't got it, Michael.
Game 2 here.
Milne loves this stuff. It's a bit of feeling here.
Sorry, Armitage high.
It was Mark Murphy who got decked.
Around the neck. Hit his buddy in the face.
And the retaliation was Robinson, and he's been pinked, so a heap of feeling in this.
Ball goes inside 50 here. Rewalt the target. He's got it.
Straight in front, inside the square.
Marked it in the square. Jamison did not get the fist to it.
Nothing silly.
He just looks due, Nick Riewoldt, for a night where it all goes his way. Kazitsky's been in great form taking contested marks. His work rate, we know, every week is unbelievable, and that is a good reward for him first up.
So Nick Riewoldt gets the Saints' first goal after an early miss, and all tied up here in terms of goals.
And the focus
in front of the Saints.
And the focus there really on Justin Kazitsky and holding him off the contest, BT, allowed Riewoldt to compete one-on-one. That's Justin Kazitsky being back in form and back dangerous, means his opponent doesn't want to leave him.
Yeah, good call, Lingy. Cozzy is in great contested marking form, so Jamison certainly is not going to want to come off him and try and come third man in on Nick Riewoldt. And they're looking dangerous at the moment, those two big talls for the Saints. They were good last week against the Hawks.
And that's where you get the benefit of having Kazitsky up and running. As you said, they have to focus heavily on Kazitsky. Riewoldt finds himself one-on-one.
Saints by a point. Goddard tries to bullock his way through there. Quick kick by Russell out wide. Betts. Dempster arriving late. Sees Graham around the back. Nice little nurse kick by Grand of Jack Stephen.
And you see Dempster's got the job on Eddie Betts. He, of course, had Lance Franklin last week. Wouldn't be getting a lot of sleep at the moment, Sean Dempster. He's getting some dangerous matchups every week.
Here's Blake. Last week spent most of the time in the ruck. Here he is in the back half. Very adaptable. Stanley. Need this man to fire big time for their future. Gilbert. Took a little too long. Look at the Carlton numbers, 4 on 2. Jeffy Garlett's got one high.
That's your mark. Wait there, Lee.
Didn't sum that up at all well there, Gilbert. He had a lot of numbers around him. He just needed to clear the zone, and that's what Carlton are so good at, keeping it in their forward half of the ground.
Garlett long. Saints numbers. Dempster. Graham. He'll go longer to Armitage. He's not a great kick and made it difficult for his teammate there. And so has Armitage with a horrible handball to Jack Stephen. So a shaky start from the Saints.
I don't often see a clanger handball. That's about as bad as it gets. That's a 1 metre handball that missed by 3 metres, and it's so important for St Kilda that they can get through the forward pressure of Carlton and really set up some attack from that part of the ground.
Those last 2 rebounds from Gilbert, they had the opportunity to get through. They had space, they had players out on the far wing, and just that sloppy handball, and then Gilbert's kick on the rebound before that. 2 chances gone begging to put the ball inside 50.
Judd. Hayes gobbled it up. I thought it got one high. Umpire decided to let it go as Cruiser tried to work his way through. Or is it, in fact, Dygan?
Sam Gilbert standing back in the hole in front of Jared Wade. He's a loose man.
Cruiser, nice ruck work. Jack Stephen now got a bit of outside room with the bounce as well. Once again, the kick not great. Works for Cozzy. Handball inside. Tui got in the way. Working in there was Sard. Eventually it flicks out. Stephen again. Done well. Wanted to go boundary. Kick. Really ordinary along the ground. Armfield gave it to a man in trouble in Gibbs. And I don't think he had time to dispose of it.
Here, mate.
It's got a pretty open feel about it early this game tonight.
Barrow and Riewoldt. Good overhead look at the forward line. What a palm down to Stephen. Picked up in the end, and the Saints able to nail the goal, and Malera gets it.
A nice little win for the Saints in their forward half of the ground. Able to work their way through. Terry Malera. I like the way he moves, this young boy. He's got some leg speed and a couple of tricks inside the trick bag. Just saw a bit of that on display. Left foot snap around the body. A very, very nice goal.
So Jack Stephen, the beneficiary of the good ruck work, and Malera, the man to finish it off for the Saints, and they lead it by 7 points.
They've been good at scoring from clearances this year, the Saints.
No ruckman making contact there. Robinson upended as he went for the ball. Armitage went in.
Danger, free kick.
Kick in danger there. I think the rule actually said kicking with intent to injure or hurt. Got a little chip over the ball, over the top. Great control to Geary. There's the task ahead for Geary. Kick is wide and good, and now they can go. Long ball, Rewalt the target again, both hands on it, gobbled up in the end. Just his man Wilkes taking it off him there, otherwise I reckon he might have had the double go at it. Have a look at this, that's the kick. Thought he got all ball there, sure that it was in danger. Curnow, short to Gibbs. Oh, Gibbs dropped a low ball, and lucky for him it went over because the Saints were outnumbering the Blues there. And have a look at the knocks every time there's a moment in the game where they pass by each other. They push and shove, and little swift one to the guts. Milne, Cozzy at the back, caught behind. Jamison did well.
The Blues just can't get their hands on the footy at the moment. They've only had their 8 disposals.
Sure why McBurney was holding it up there. It was Kosicki that was sitting on top of Jamison. Around the corner from Joseph. Wide to Judd. Armfield's just come off the bench and Judd's missed him and will go inboard instead to Dygan. He's able to play on the handball to Armfield. As I mentioned, came straight off the bench. Drawing handball to Kerr now, went to ground. Gilbert made it difficult for him. Back to Judd, needed to be clean. Hayes has got him in the vice-like tackle. Spills to Betts. Very evasive, very elusive. Gets it to his mate Garlett. Garlett, quick with his left foot to Simpson. Couldn't mark it.
So Armfield has the one-on-one tagging role. Nick Dal Santo, they both came off the bench and followed each other back out to the ground. And Clint Jones following Mark Murphy.
Yep, kick around the corner. There it is.
Eddie Betts, clean take and a brilliant left foot goal. Has just scored the one goal in the past fortnight, Eddie. We know how dangerous that little man on screen is right there, and that will set him up for a big night.
Great work from Hampson, wasn't it? To Betts.
That was just a pure stoppage. Great, clear hit to advantage by Big Hampson. That's why he's gone into the middle now, but that's why it's so good having him inside forward 50 to do the ruck work, because that's as good as it gets.
Just one or two acts by those big guys down there, and that's all they need out of them. Ball goes wide, and Sard tried to keep it alive.
Out of bounds first.
Not allow him to do so.
So Ed Curnow at the moment has drifted back, and he's playing loose man in defence at the moment.
Knocked down a Judd at half-back. Poorly directed kick, although made good work of it. Walker in the end, he was on the wrong side of his man. A little chip kick, too much for Cruiser, who's now gone forward in place of Hampson. Graham, risky kick, had some height to Farron Ray.
Really got away with one there, Sam Gilbert. His direct opponent, Walker, he just drifted off and started to goal keep. If Walker hadn't mucked up the kick, it was a certain goal.
Hayes, back inside Dempster. Farron Ray's got to do it again, and he does.
What about Lenny Hayes' return from a knee reconstruction? He has not missed a beat. Hard and tough. Just an incredible performer. Adds so much to this side.
Farron Ray back into the St Kilda side. Fisher and Polo, the 2 outs this week. Ray and Wilkes into the side. Here's Gibbs to Armfield.
To disposal. Advantage.
Each paid. Eventually it arrives out wide with Robinson. Have a look at the space he's got there. Robinson could do anything he wanted there, and he got it inside to Simpson.
Well, that was well played by Mitch Robinson. He got the ball on the wing there. He looked up. He had plenty of space in front of him to run into, but Big Cozzy was standing there. He couldn't blaze away inside 50 and just showed the poise to wait for Simpson to push into that hole in the middle of the ground. And this man here is having a terrific year. Just gets better every game he plays, Simpson.
Going to have to kick it around about the 50-metre length. Close to the line, close to the man on the mark. Umpire said play on. I think he said it was touched off the boot, so off hands in the end. Just got a little too close to the man on the mark. knowing he had to search for the distance.
BT, Clint Jones started very well on Mark Murphy. Mark Murphy yet to touch the footy, which for such a ball magnet, that's a surprising stat.
Jones has had 2 stoppages himself, Lingy.
Yeah, doing a really good job. Just really tight on him at those stoppages. He knows how dangerous Murphy is around them, and his running ability is able to go with Murph.
Milne told to play on, got a good shepherd from Lenny Hayes. Drilled it down the line, great kick to Wilkes.
We're seeing that little bit of extra flair in the St Kilda game plan under Scotty Waters. They are prepared, as you saw Milne do there, to take the game on a little bit more.
On the head of Kaczynski, 3 Carlton defenders there. In the end, none of them got hold of it. And the kick in from Armridge was fantastic for Rewalt. He marks on the behind line, so he'll get a pretty difficult angle here.
Well, that was poor by the Carlton defence. 3 players went up in the air against one, Justin Kaczynski. Nick Rewalt just ducked out the back on his own.
Might play on here. He's looking for the left foot kick sideways. He's got 1 step, remember, before he calls play on. Play on, there it is, and he has missed that. So he's gone away from the drop punt, knowing that he hasn't got great confidence in that.
Well, I think your call was spot on. He had 1 step before they called play on, but he had enough time for 2 or 3 steps at BT, and I think he was unbalanced. You can actually just take a couple of quick steps and get that extra bit of poise, but wasn't able to do it. A little bit of panic.
So the advice there, perhaps another step or 2.
I reckon he was off balance when he kicked it. As a result, it was a shank.
Beautiful kick into the middle of the ground. Hampson knocked down. Russell to the run of Simpson. This is where they're really good, Carlton. Short ball to Betts. The outside run. Simpson goes again from 48 metres. This will lift the roof off the house. Simpson nails the goal. So Simpson with that outside run, absolutely magnificent, set up by the big kick in from fullback. The Hampson missed mark, knocked down, call it what you like, and the outside run was magnificent.
Richo, the leg speed of Carlton is just so exciting and so damaging. Have a look at the way they're able to run and burst. Fullback kick in, coast-to-coast goal took about 9 seconds. They are so dangerous when they get on the outside of the pack.
That kick in, how good is it if you can get the ball into the middle with a kick in? It just breaks the whole thing open.
Now up into Judd through some traffic. Seem to have a lot of blue jumpers around it. And now Farron Ray. Good kick normally, sees Milne in the pocket. Did well Bauer to get a hand on it. Great kick. Bauer did a good job just getting a hand there in the end. Just off a certain chest mark for Milne. Just under 10 remaining here in the first. Kaczynski knocking it down to Armitage, couldn't control it. Montagna spun out nicely. A lot of players around here. Simpson doing some real damage at the moment for the Blues. High ball to a 2-on-1. The one in Hampson was a big one, and he won out. Now Betts inside, and the mark taken by Walker. He looks to play on. He's got Carlton in the square. He said, no, I can do this myself. Brilliant play by Andrew Walker. What an electric start from the good running players of the Blues. Betts, Simpson and Walker consecutively goaling. Blues by 11 points.
Yeah, this is a good goal by Andrew Walker. Played on, had an open goal square to kick to and kicked it beautifully, but the work was done by Sean Hampson out on the wing. He had a 2-on-1, the big fella, and he was able to win it and give Betts the release handball.
Have a look at that for a knock from Hampson. The fast hands to go with it. You are on fire, big man. Half forward here for the Saints. Ray and Graham combining. Good kick because he's got space. He's got a runner and Dempster as well. He probably should have given it to him. Turned around and burned him a bit, I reckon, there. Montagna now. Montagna fumbles the mark, kick around the corner, Tui in front, Rewalt. Both hands on it, couldn't hold the mark, kept it alive. Well done. Gee, it was good, Dygan. Now Murphy. The Blues, brilliant. This transition play was down there in the middle of the week, and we watched many times them practice the transition from defence to attack. And there's Curnow, unusual mop of hair on top. Hampson, who's on fire at the moment, to Judd. If they get it outside, I tell you, they're in trouble, the Saints. Walker over the top. Ray did really well. Oh, Farron Ray, brilliant stuff. Handball onto Armitage. Not great on his non-preferred side there. Judd wanted the give and go. Gibbs wide to Walker.
They're out everywhere now because of that turnover from the Armitage kick.
Walker goes into weight. Couldn't hold the mark. Blake there to defend. Through the feet of Gibbs. There's Jeffy Garlett, got one high. Garlett, he's great by foot. He says, come on, someone come at me. Betts does. Ignores that, and in the end, not well thought out by Garlett.
Hey, that's right, BT. He held onto the ball for too long. Betts eventually led, and then he kicked it straight over his head.
He wanted immediate movement, and it just didn't come, Richo.
Yeah, there was a few numbers in front of the Carlton forwards, but you still have to lead past those loose players and try and draw them out.
Montagna, Rewalt went wide, and that's ignored, and kick to Stevens was not what it should have been. Tui waiting for a runner to come past. In the end, Emerson inside. Again, they go. Scotland, who's efficient on both sides of the body. Still alive in the Blues forward end here. Blake goes. Waite went in a little harder and got there a touch earlier. There was no slide in that.
No free kick there, BT. Nick Rewalt on screen. His body language, his energy, his effort has just started fantastically well. He should have 3 goals on the board, and St Kilda should be in front. He's missed 2 ones that you really have to kick, and the difference is Carlton lead by 11 points, and Rewalt's confidence just drops a bit when he should be feeling great about his game. He just has to find a way to kick the goals he needs to kick, and it's the difference between where St Kilda are at and where they're not.
Have a look at this, the last coming together of these 2 players. You can see the slide in from the Carlton player. Waite was there, used the body.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot in that one.
No action there. Cruiser over the back. Russell. Del Santo in the end. This man here has had a terrific start to this year. Geary. Blake just went the mongrel out wide looking for Milne. Was he held by Joseph? Umpire said no, and Milne not happy with the treatment.
Well, they're doing a lot right at the moment, the Saints. They've had 10 clearances, 11 clearances to 5. They're on top there. They're matching the Blues in most areas. They've just got to be able to convert, as Das was just talking about with Nick Rewalt.
Gee, their ruckman, the Saints have got to get aggressive and make some contact. Here is Simpson again. They love the open run. Have a look at this. Judd has snuck on from the bench, I reckon. Comes in, needed clean hands, couldn't do it. He came directly off the bench, I reckon.
He certainly did, BT. Good call. He just snuck straight on behind Clint Jones there, and Jones knew as soon as he was heading towards goal he was in a little bit of trouble, but well held up by the Saints.
A while, Lingy, since we've seen Juddy run like that.
He was flying.
Malera, Ray and Montagna, they just haven't got these little chip kicks right. Milne can make it work in the end. Goddard can go wide to Hayes. Now Hayes, no one near him, gets a good chance to sum it up. Rewalt was coming in the pocket. Graham picked it up off the ground, turned face, 30 metres closing, missed.
Yeah, this hurts because they are well and truly in this contest, and we know how quickly this Carlton team can score, and they're taking something away from the Blues. The Blues love to control the game by kicks and uncontested marks. They average over 100 a week. They've only had 12 marks for the quarter so far. The Saints are right in it. They just got to convert, BT.
Crowded.
Still a concern for that man on screen, Scotty Waters, is what happens outside of the contested situation. When Carlton get on their bike, Jeffy Garlett's running down the wing, Cade Simpson with leg speed. They look unbelievably dangerous.
Cruz up. Wilkes got on the end for the Saints, guided back high. Heap of players fly, hoping to win possession. Jack Stephen alive again, and Backing back there. I think it was Joseph dropped the mark. Milne loves these. He's a specialty around the corner. And he goes back to let him know as well. That's a Milne special. He has gone straight to Joseph. He's saying, hey, you had a little look. There was a duck. And that is what Milne's done for a dozen years. He gets in the face of the opposition, Richo. You've got to love it. That's the way he's played.
He will use that for the rest of the night, Das. He will be all over that.
Umpire telling Stephen Milne to go and get his jumper changed. Quite frankly, that's none of the umpire's business whether he wants to get his jumper changed.
And in fairness to Joseph, he just dropped a mark he shouldn't have taken. There was no duck at the head. But that doesn't worry Milne. He loves it. Have a look at him mixing it up. He goes past the Irishman. He wants a piece of Joseph. He says, let me at him. I'll give it to him.
Couldn't get near him.
You're spot on though, Beach. Why does the umpire's sending him off to change his jumper? Well, is that in the rule book now? Is it if there's a rip on the jumper, you've got to go straight off?
I'm not sure why. As long as you can see the number, I think it's all okay. Yeah. It's on here. Milne just sticking a little fork in the middle of the Blues there. And now, just as we ease towards quarter time, free kick to Blake, I think.
Mitch Robinson, boys, has just gone down the race. He was limping on his left leg. The doctor's checking him out. I'll keep you updated when he comes back onto the bench.
Blake wide. Ray. Gee, the umpire's paid that. Have a listen to the crowd. Can never be right if you're an umpire. Some giving it to you, some loving your work. Ray not much on, so just chips it high. Lenny Hayes with some work to do.
St Kilda defence love to just chip the ball around sideways, maintain it. They don't like to take a risky kick through the corridor until they can get it past the halfway mark of the ground. And that is where the Carlton forward press will be working overtime. They're so quick. Betts, Garlett, Murphy resting down there, trying to create turnovers in that part of the ground.
Unusual that the way that man was pointing then. Bit of a sort of a corkscrew pointer. There's Gibbs at half back and wants to transfer play. Jamison's there, had to go back and get it, which spoilt the effectiveness of it.
Carlton are prepared to go backwards and across the ground to switch the Saints' defence. They do it quite a bit.
Gibbs is wide, but he ignores that. He said just a little too risky. So here's Bauer again.
They've done well here, the Saints. They've locked them in.
There's the professional shepherd of the man on the mark, allowing Bauer to run an extra 10 and get a nice meaty kick up to the wing over the back. Simpson, who's been absolutely cutting them to pieces on that side of the ground. Short ball. Walker plays on again, hammers it inside. Waits a one-on-one here. Didn't get it the way he wanted it. Got to do it on the ground now. Eddie Betts is lurking menacingly. Didn't work for him. Wilkes. Malera spun once, twice. Eddie just went and knocked it out of his hands. Kicked to wait on the lead, and Gilbert, bit of jumper holding there.
Jared Wade hasn't been able to take a mark as yet. Talked about him before the game. He's hit up.
Liz and Shane there. The kid's not worrying too much about the footy. Happy to just play the computer games.
Yeah, it says a lot these days.
It does indeed, Richo. Good game of footy in front of you. Come on, kids. Watch the footy. Watch Eddie. Has a flying shot for goal. Misses the lot.
Probably on the Twitter, BT. Elizabeth is a very prominent tweeter, getting involved in the game, and I'm enjoying where St Kilda are at. Great to see Milne back on, because that last goal has sparked a bit of a change in momentum here. It was Carlton running away with it. Now the Saints have been able to just maintain possession for a little while.
Thanks, Dennis.
Yeah, so Jared Wade hasn't had a mark yet. Mark Murphy still yet to have a kick. So the Saints have been able to shut down the stars and the playmakers for the Blues, and that's why they're well and truly in this game.
Picked up by Murphy. Murphy has a shot around the corner. Walker was there. Boundary throw in forward pocket Blues.
Andrew, he hit the ball.
So Mark Murphy has been held here tonight. Over the top, Cozzy doing some ruck work. Hampson tried to get a little right foot banana. Judd off the ground, gets the goal. Blues on fire. All their stars, perhaps with the exception of Murphy, really getting into this game, although Murphy has touched it 4 times. And Judd gets his first goal with just under 2 minutes remaining on the clock.
Yeah, this is just a bit of a scramble, the goal face, and Chris Judd made something out of nothing. And this is the problem when you're tagging Mark Murphy, as Clint Jones is doing, and doing a good job. This man gets out of the loop, and he's had 9 touches, 3 clearances and a goal now, Chris Judd. Good quarter.
He's enjoying that, probably for the first time in his career this year, that the first defender is going to other players.
Yeah, he'd be loving it.
Armfield from about 60 out now. Waite's gone back to get a run up. That's intelligent play. Walker cut him off in the end. Waite gathers the ground level ball. Back on the left boot. Missed the lot. Loved the way he gave himself space to run and jump then. And Walker just getting in the way.
St Kilda have been very good at the contested footy and the clearances, but it's Carlton's outside work, as you boys have already touched on, that's just killing St Kilda. Simpson, Judd, Murphy, when he gets involved as well, are just so good on the outside. They're really running St Kilda off their feet. Imperative,
isn't it, Lingy, to have those outside workers for you?
Absolutely. Just the work rate away from the contest, spread away from the stoppages.
Carry the ball for you as well. Back in the middle. I tell you what, the Saints have got an opportunity here.
They're out everywhere, BT.
They are indeed. Have a look at this. On to the end of it is Milera. Gathers. Rewalt wanted it. No, he said, keep coming. You kick the goal, young man. Very unselfish play. The Saints respond in the nick of time.
I reckon Rui, did he call for the handball? In the end, he let Milera run into the open goal, but you normally give those over to the skipper.
I'll tell you what, if I was Terry Milera, a chance to endear himself to the captain, you give the Joe the Goose, BT. Look at the captain there.
I think he said, he said, you keep going.
He was saying, over here, Terry,
he was
that's
saying,
my domain, I'll take that one off your hands.
He was saying keep going, but what he meant was give me the handball.
At no stage was Rewalt in front of where Milera was between he and the goal.
Terry Milera should understand. He give it to the captain. Here are the Melbourne players on screen. Jack Watts in the VFL last week, Jade Rawlings as well, and Lee Brown. Some of the coaching staff, the Demons, having a look at Monday night footy.
Play Carlton next week, of course. No waving by the Melbourne boys, which is important in the stands this time tonight, so that was good. There's an improvement for them. Something to like about that. Curnow around the corner, high ball. Cruiser underneath. Stephen, funny little lopsided kick to Montagna. Saints have got time, 35 seconds. Montagna went for the all or nothing. Milne gathers possession, sold a bit of foot candy. Now pounces Wilkes, dropped the chest mark. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. And now Jamison very happy. Thought he was going to cop one in the guts then, I reckon, from Wilkes. And he is in disbelief at that one. Maybe he did give one. Wilkes, 15 seconds remaining. Rewald's caught behind, free kick paid here. It's going to go the Saints' way. It'll go to Farron Ray, I think, will it?
That's the Farron Ray's ball. That's the beauty of a quick play on. Defenders get nervous. Here's Jamison, a little karate open hand style.
Come away, Aaron.
Not a lot in that. That's a touch embarrassing. That's a free kick. And here we go. Farron Ray just had his left arm grab. Curnow reaching over the top. And this is a big play right on the quarter time siren.
Indeed it is. To put the Saints remarkably in front at quarter time. Farron Ray kicks the goal. Saints in front. Boy, fantastic comeback, kicking 3 of the last 4 goals of that quarter and doing it very, very nicely indeed. Bit of friction in this one. Players converging in the middle. Simpson and Jones having a bit of chitter-chatter there. They eventually separate them. We'll go to the break. The Saints by 2 points, cracking first quarter here at Etihad. High frustrations were maxed out. Milne, as you would expect, was always in amongst it. There was pushing and shoving and knocks, and that little man Milne, as he so often does, has the last laugh at this stage anyway, and wanted to get back to let the Carlton boys know that he is here to play.
That's what gets him going, Milne. He loves this stuff, and he's been in the thick of it for the whole first quarter. There certainly was a fair bit of niggle. I think the Saints know how important this game is for them. They've got some big games coming up in the next few weeks.
Yeah, Eddie Betts kicked the goal on the run. Chris Judd's the one that's got off the chain, surprisingly. As we mentioned in the first quarter, they've gone hard with a tag on Mark Murphy. As we see the little tip rat Stephen Milne take his place on the interchange bench to start the first quarter. But I reckon the revolt start, BT, the extra couple of goals, could have even been a bigger first quarter for St Kilda.
Let's get down to Cameron Ling, who wants to talk about the big man Hampson. He was great, Lingy.
He was fantastic that quarter, BT. Had a big influence on the game, and he had laser eye surgery in the off-season. He's spoken about how he's able to play better at night with not losing the ball in the lights as much as he did in the past. He's been absolutely fantastic tonight. Really great in the contest. Let's watch him continue in this quarter.
Back to start the second quarter here. The Saints by 2 points. Been good out of the middle. Here's Murphy. Got the clearance nicely to Simpson, who was absolutely on fire. Cade Simpson touched it 7 times in that first quarter. Kicked a goal as well.
Just saw Farron Ray apply the tackle there on Cade Simpson. I think Scott Waters has said to Farron Ray, get hold of Cade Simpson, make sure that you stay with him step for step. He's an elite runner, Farron Ray. He's been out of favour a little bit, hasn't played since round 1, but got an important role now.
I think I said at one stage in the first quarter that Melbourne play Carlton next week. Of course, it's in 2 weeks' time. That's why the Melbourne boys are sitting here in the stands. Good to see them working a couple of weeks ahead.
Well, you've got to do that. Yeah, Cade Simpson, he gains so much meterage for the Blues. He's an 80-metre player. He runs and then kicks the ball long. Every team needs one of those outside runners.
Wow, great kick to Hampson.
Strong hands overhead, isn't he, Sean Hampson?
Here comes the leader, Walker, ignores that, goes long and deep, looking for Wade, who cut back on his man, did well to hold the front position off hands. Russell, around 1, handball back inside, Cruiser kicks the goal for the Blues to put them back in front. Matty Cruiser, a nice start for the Blues.
Just about the hardest working big man in the game, Matty Cruiser. He has got a real appetite for running hard. And again, he just got himself in the right spot. You can see calling for it. Pushes hard, a front and centre goal from an athletic ruckman. Well, that is a piece of gold, Richo. They don't come too often. And we thought before the game that Cruiser and Hampson could really gain advantage. They haven't dominated so far, but that helps their cause a bit.
It's so good to see ruckman getting forward and kicking goals. Gone are the days where the big boys just sit a kick behind the play. He's a damaging player at ground level. And when they're kicking goals, so valuable for your team.
Back in the middle, McBurney mustering up the strength to bounce the ball. Here's Judd off his fingers into the hands of the dangerous Del Santo. Through traffic, Tui did it well. Good ball control as well. Scotland just goes bang down the middle. Waite arrived late and high without contact to Blake.
Stay out. Yours.
Hayes to Stephen. He's done really well again tonight. The boy from Lorne in Victoria looks for Cozzy. Jamison able to nudge him slightly under the ball. Tui comes back. Step by Sard. Gathers. Thought about the bounce around the corner. This would be lively. Sard has done it.
What a ripping goal that was from Sard. I like the bounce halfway through a step. Got himself away. And that was a very impressive, nice little move, step, and the finish. Big responding goal from the Saints.
Yeah, let's have a look at this from Sard. There's a little funny little bounce coming up here. Look at that one. It's like a little basketball bounce. He made something out of nothing there, and that's what you have to do as a small forward. He kicked a great goal last week in his first game, and he looks to have some tricks inside forward 50.
Cruz up. Walker. Now Scotland. Great tackle by Gilbert. And in the end, the umpire says you had a lot of time to get rid of that.
No genuine attempt. Straight back to
Loving Jack Stevens, boys. He's had a fantastic start to the season already. He's had to give up the ball there, but he's had a fantastic start to the season. He's now adding to his game the ability to break some lines and carry the ball through the middle of the ground.
Yeah, he's been great, Lingy. He certainly has. One out of the Geelong Falcons footy factory for Mickey Turner down there.
You just see Nick Rewalt there just pointing to his left-hand side and saying to Jason Graham, I really wanted that on the side where I could protect the ball. It just made it a little bit hard for him to compete the way he wanted to.
Always live and interactive, as you see there. Judd. Dempster.
Wait there, Eddie. Play on.
Graham now out the side. Slider to Geary. Geary to Montagna. Needs to take on Curnow. Does it nicely. Turns back inside when Curnow thought he was going outside. Into Wilkes. Strong overhead. Could not hold it long enough. Now Tui. Just got boot to ball. Murphy's got to go. Stanley did well to Jones. Fires off the handball. Around the corner here for Malera. Already kicked a couple. Any free here, Richo?
Well, see a lot less paid these days. There wasn't a lot in it. They are paid sometimes. So good to see Joe Montagna starting to find a little bit of form here tonight. He's up to 9 touches. Hasn't had the best start to the year. He's an important player for the Saints moving forward. Good to see him getting back to a little bit of form.
Robinson to Scotland. Scotland had to put Hyde in the kick because he had to get it over the man coming at him, which disadvantaged Wade, but he did well. Strong running from Judd. Got the runner inside as well if he wants him in Robinson. Had a little bit of trouble controlling it, Judd. Looks back, sees a heap of Carlton players. This one here is Walker. He gathers, goes in, missed across the face.
Well, Andrew Walker was a great goal kicker last year, kicked 56 goals. He just didn't sum that up really well. He could have drawn a player and handled over the top to Jarrad Waite. That would have run in for a certain goal.
That was nearly their second goal tonight from a long kick in. Just so valuable now if you've got someone who can kick in and clear the ball nearly to the centre of the ground, and you get over the back of the zone very easily.
Hayes back inside to Montagna. Sees over the top. Stanley. 55 closing. Kozetski takes the mark.
The difference in the Saints, Richo, when they get through half back with a bit of space and get into one of their good ball users' hands, they can really break this Carlton defence down. This time it was Reece Stanley who summed it up really nicely. Had Rewalt decided the long option to Kozetski and his first real crack at it tonight.
Yeah, and that was from a kick in as well. So both teams have been able to get through tonight with their point kick-ins, and Dygan got caught out on Cozzy.
So lining up is the big fella Cozzy. About 25 metres out. Gets the goal. They're enjoying it, the boys. Cozzy gets his first. Saints by 8 points.
Continues his ripping form. The big man on screen. Taken 10 contested marks and kicked 8 goals in the last fortnight.
Brett Ratton coaching from the bench. Sitting on his left is his main sports science man. Eddie Capuano further left there. Ratton in control while senior assistant Alan Richardson, who by all reports with his team led by Gavin Brown have been magnificent in putting this side together on a week-to-week basis.
Oh, this is great from Nick Del Sando. He's had a quiet week last week, held to just 14 disposals by Jordan Lewis, and getting some close attention again, as you can see from Armfield. But that's something that isn't within your control, is how hard you tackle. Just the 5 disposals so far. Del Sando.
Once again, Lira. Del Sando. Good play, the Saints. Nearly very, very good. In fact, it was Saad that got it to Malera.
It's amazing sometimes how often you lay a big, strong tackle, you get rewarded for it almost instantaneously. And that's good stuff from Del Santo.
That was his first uncontested possession tonight, Nick Del Santo. He's had 5 in the contest, so good to see him getting some reward on the outside.
Carlton really going a hard one-on-one with Del Santo, but also Jordan Russell and Brendan Goddard, both having close tags trying to stop the St Kilda superstars.
Saints again come back. Rewalt up the middle. Big pack of players forms. Got the numbers over the back. It was nicely done from Wilkes. Down to Milne. Milne ducked one tackle, came back with a right foot kick across the face. Mark's been taken by Armitage.
Carlton.
Push.
Well, umpire McBurney is 80 metres away from that, and he's plucked out the push. The officiating umpire right alongside him had no issue. So that's a big overrule from Steve McBurney, who was right inside the corridor. You can see there he is, top of your screen. That's how far away he is.
Now, that wasn't in the back.
And he's called that from 80 metres away. Got to be clear if you call those ones. That's a big call.
Judd to Betts. Betts wants to go down the line. Jamison the target. Off hands. Bauer. Armfield. Got it through, but there are no blues there. Walker's got to go against Sipos here. Simpkin it was, in fact, and bundled over the line. Sipos, the sub tonight for the Saints, and the sub for the Blues is Allard. Hayes, Murphy. In the end, Cruiser managed to get the clearance only as far as Goddard.
The Saints just aren't letting Carlton play the way that they want to play, controlling the game with uncontested marks, and they've taken that away from them.
Gee, how fast did Garlick close Geary down then? But he got him when he didn't have it. Geary goes wide, looking for and finding Jones. He's able to play on, looking for the centering ball. It's a high one. Stanley is there at the back. Montagna thought about the left, come back with the right. I wouldn't have thought too much hope from there. Centering ball. Tui went up. Hayes through the traffic. Saints have now kicked 3 in a row to lead by 15 points.
What a great kick from Joey Montagna. That is a percentage play. It's a team play. Put it in the dangerous spot. Defenders get nervous, and they've got a great reward there. And then he Hayes in the right spot at the right time, but it was the Montagna kick was a ripper.
Well, that was a great kick by Montagna. He had no hope of kicking the goal from there. Some players would have tried. He just banged the ball up in the air, put it back into the corridor. They got a contest, and the goal resulted. So, terrific stuff from Joey Montagna.
Back in the middle we go. Simpson's all over it. I think we might end up with another ball up here as Jack Stevens tried to bore a hole through them. Murphy somehow got it out. Eventually it comes. Dyken with a kick out towards the boundary. Ball will not quite arrive there, and that gets helped over in the end.
Seeing Nick Del Santo there just work hard to force that one across the boundary line. I think the worst thing that happened to Nick Del Santo was a couple of weeks ago. They played Fremantle, and Ross Lyon, the one man that he set a tagger for was Nick Del Santo. I think every coach in the league had a look at that and said, all right, we always thought he was probably the one you go to anyway, but if anything, it reinforced his role, and you can see Armfield there just going every step of the way. It's a compliment, but it makes our life pretty tough.
Yeah, and of course he had Jordan Lewis all over him last week, and Armfield continuing on tonight. He needs to get some help from his teammates around the stoppages. A couple of blocks wouldn't go astray.
Hampson. Oh, Simpson. Head down. Gibbs to Simpson. Boundary umpire said it went over the line. Enjoying the bar set up here, Carlton draft style, the boys.
Looks all right up there, BT. A couple of frothies.
Nice and cosy up there. Some space too for the boys to enjoy a Carlton draft.
I like a bit of Monday night footy, BT. We've got a great crowd in here. Really good atmosphere.
Yeah, the 18th Monday night game that has been played. This one, first one was in 1952. Essendon played Geelong, Brisbane Exhibition Centre. Coleman, John kicked 13 goals on that night, Richo.
Really?
Diving in the Blues, comes out to Bauer. Quick hands to Gibbs.
About on average for Coleman.
Yes, he was that good, Richo. I guess you saw a lot of him play, did you?
No, you didn't. Keen student of the history of the game, Brian.
Yeah, very nice.
Read plenty about him.
Testing your age, just finding out how old you were. Unlikely, Richo, that you would have seen him.
Loving the St Kilda ferocity of the tackles here, boys. It's their pressure that's got them the lead in this game. Just holding the ball up. Carlton are trying to break free. Fantastic tackling by St Kilda, led by Nick Del Santo. I know we've spoken about him being a little bit quiet tonight, but he's leading the way by tackling as hard as he can.
Hey, this is a cracking game, Lee, isn't it? As you said, the intensity is enormous as we see Armitage go for the blood rule. And for both sides, for St Kilda, a win tonight, it just says maybe they've got one last go in them, Richo. They can hold on to the 8. Their best 6 or 7 players are as good as any 6 or 7 in the competition. And Carlton, they've had 10 years in the doldrums. They get a chance now maybe to get to the top of the ladder position after 7 rounds. So heap riding on this one tonight.
Yeah, Lingy touched on the Saints tackling. They're a very good tackling team.
Okay, he's off, Matty.
Armitage and Hayes and Jones are all in the top few tacklers in the competition, so it's something they've been pretty good at all season.
Inside 50s this quarter, 8-3 in favour of the Saints, and they've netted themselves 3 goals to 1 as a result. Geary around the corner looking for the run of Goddard. Milne there as well. Dygan. Tidy up for the Blues. Kick didn't have enough on it. Jones called to play on. Del Santo back in that Jones direction. Handball. Malera inside 50. Gets a bit of a look. Good looking ball. Think it might be there unless it's touched. Let's listen.
Third scorer. We believe it's a goal. Just want to check.
Look to goal. I'd like to know what the goal umpire's decision was before we go, though, which is what's supposed to happen.
Definitely a goal.
Well, you heard the central umpire say we believe it's a goal, so he thinks it is, BT.
Okay.
And that replay looks as though it was across the line. If they're in doubt, they'll go back to what the original umpire thinks.
Hand definitely behind the post.
Almost certain, boys, the goal umpire said that he felt it was a goal, but just wanted to check.
Play the goal.
Goal. Yeah, all clear.
So a goal in the end. Umpire Troy Pennell getting it right, and that man there, Malera, has now kicked 3.
Looks dangerous, doesn't he? He's added a little bit of pace and life to their forward half, and he's been really good. Clint Jones set him up nicely there with a handball, set him off into space, and Bauer nearly knocked the goalpost over here.
A good example, Rich had the video review system working perfectly there. It was just a little check back upstairs. We think it's a goal, and they had it confirmed by the third umpire. So now the challenge all of a sudden back to the Blues, find themselves really needing the next goal.
A couple of good players there. Judd and Hayes manning each other up inside the middle. Graham, a little time, was great composure still to get at the boot. What about that front contest? Hayes and Gibbs just going smack at it. Fast hands the Blues in the middle, and eventually they got caught. Milne's got him. Montagna the assist. Malera came to the bench after the goal. His third ran straight back on before the ball was bounced. Judd wide. Gibbs has got time. 45 and closing. They need a responding goal, and the Blues have found one. Gibbs gets his first goal, stops the run of consecutive goals at 4 for St Kilda, back to 15 points.
Massive 50-50 ball there to be won at centre forward. Piling in as hard as you could go. From everywhere, Lenny Hayes just smashing in, Judd coming in from both angles. Gibbs was in there amongst it, and the Blues got a big goal.
Spoken about how good St Kilda have tackled, but that's the only trouble when you can't stop the footy and you're all at the player with the ball and it spills outside to Gibbs. You can get hurt on the outside. Well done, Bryce Gibbs.
Nice knockdown cruiser to Murphy.
Mark Murphy!
Crowd,
Down to the tackle.
give him the Bronxies.
Stay out. Play on.
Just his second for the quarter, Mark Murphy.
Wide, good kick.
This is what he's so good at, Simpson. The free kick in the middle of the ground, the umpire blows the whistle, and he is always looking to push into space as soon as the whistle is blown. He breaks quicker than anyone else and finds space inside forward 50. He runs so hard, Das. That's terrific.
Yeah, I think they need that tight lockdown roll, and he's so dangerous, as you pointed out. Breaks free, I think Farron Ray's going to him. He might have just a loss of concentration on that one.
So Simpson for his second goal. Normally reliable, not on this occasion across the face.
I've got a theory on the goal kicking later on, Brian, that you might enjoy.
What, in relation to this ground or particular people?
Just in relation to goal kicking in general.
Okay, well, you are the goal kicking guru, so we look forward to that.
No, it's why players miss. I can tell you that.
Oh, okay. Dempster. We'll look forward to hearing it, Richard. I'm not sure why you're saving it.
Oh, just waiting for the appropriate moment, Brian.
Let him go. Let him go. Don't do it. Don't push him.
Richo's goal kicking segment.
Get off him
we
now.
look forward to that.
Silly.
I will wait till someone misses a set shot.
All right.
Just a little clumsy here, Cozzy. It was a decent knee in the head, actually. Heath Scotland's going to come off with a bit of claret.
Back inside. The target was Gibbs offhand. Jard can trap it here. He's away Walker. Explosive a couple of weeks ago on his return. Malera doing it at both ends at the moment for the Saints.
That was a great kick from Malera there. Under pressure, found Milne, who's put it out on the full.
Milne always wanting to chat to the opposition.
Right around.
Carlton have had the last 4 inside 50s in this game to start to just try and steer it back in their direction. The Saints by 14 though.
Goddard and Cozzy have got back to help. There's no space here.
Cruiser's got to do it against the lot. Did his own ground level work as well. Saints are cracking in. Done really well after it looked to be an explosive start here from the Blues, kicking 4 of the first 6 goals. Murphy, been pretty well held. He's had it 7 times. Cruiser, Montagna. And I think we'll go out of bounds there. Good crowd in here tonight as well to Etihad for Monday Night Football. I would think just over 40,000, perhaps a few more. Cruiser, cold night for those viewing around Australia in Melbourne. Betts on the left with a magnificently composed kick. Degree of difficulty in that kick from Eddie Betts. Extraordinary. Well done. Saints back within 8 points.
Hey, great stuff here, Matty Cruiser. Have a look at that. That is the perfect spot on the ground to roll one out the back. And look at the Carlton small forwards. Every one of them knew exactly what Cruiser was trying to do. And they've got the leg speed to burn defenders off. Great finish from Betts.
Yeah, that's the one the Adelaide Crows used to always do in there. Forward line dash, that one over the back.
That's the middle with the Jones kick.
Lockley. Sean Wren's special that was back in the late 90s when they won a couple of premierships. Eddie Betts just testing out his knee there. Got a bit of a hobble up. His little mate Jeffy Garlett is going to come on the ground.
Goddard out of Farron Ray. Deep tall one-on-one. Wilkes is there for the Saints. Jamison for the Blues. Over the head of Scotland. Henderson, clever tap. Free kick Walker.
Hanging on against you, Sam.
Look at the players queuing up in the middle. Hampson needs to give it to a runner. He's got Scotland. Just didn't sit for him. Now from 55, the Cruiser on the lead. Did well, Simpkin, to knock it away. Blake. Handball out the back, and now the kick around to Armitage.
It's Carlton's spread that's hurting St Kilda late in this quarter. When they can get the ball away from a contested situation, get it out into space, Carlton are really hurting them. St Kilda need it back into traffic, back into a contest.
Hampson again, Judd. Umpire was behind the contest there. Couldn't see the arm by Hayes over the shoulder of Judd. Judd gives a quizzical look in the umpire's direction.
Been a bit of head-to-head. Lenny Hayes and Chris Judd have spent a bit of time on each other, 2 stars, and keep an eye on them around this contest. Judd will try and get some run and speed up.
There he goes. Look, out the back door. Magnificently called, Das, because he did exactly that. Tried to lose him in a bit of traffic, and Hayes was caught off guard, but in the meantime, Wilkes
Got to get it moving quick. Rewalt wants it long.
gives it to Stephen. Take on Dygan, back in the Wilkes direction. He's got Hayes running wide, Milera if he wants in. High tackle, careless tackle. In the end, the umpire downfield paid it, and McBurney didn't.
He was right there.
Yeah.
Bernie, he was 5 metres away, and I'm not sure why he didn't pay that straight away.
I'm not sure why Wilkes just didn't turn and get on his bike and kick it inside 50. They were out everywhere, too slow. They've got to move it quicker in that part of the ground.
Milera, high ball. Rewald in the end, forced to stand and try and deliver. Robinson head over the ball. Little grubber along the ground. Saad didn't have the clean hands. Scotland went in. Now they jump on him. Has he made enough effort for the umpire? He said no.
I've got to tackle legally. Must knock it out.
Well, he tried to.
Up, guys, on the ball.
He tried to knock it out.
Oh, I don't know how they're meant to get it out. Sometimes it amuses me, but that's the rule now. If you dive on it and you don't get it out, they will pay. But half the time it's being held against them by the tackling player in the first place.
Scotland, safety towards the boundary line. Cruiser got a bit of a push from Simpkin.
We talked about Wilkes not getting it inside 50 before, and Nick Rewald would be disappointed. It's been probably the only time this quarter he had any sort of space to work into, and just couldn't get the ball to him.
I wonder how Judd got free then. Well, he came off the bench. So how he was able to do that. Short kick to Cruiser. Judd wanted it. Cruiser said, you've got Lenny going with you. And now Cruiser says, come at me. Over the head of Hampson, but Walker. So getting it forward now. Walker's kick a little sloppy, but an advantage to Murphy, who marks it right on the boundary line. Now watch the run-around play on here. Almost impossible from here with the drop punt. Heavy left to right, natural fade. In this kick, the slider. Murphy trying to lessen the angle to Walker, and he's achieved that.
You'll get a good look at this left to right slide on this kick from Walker, BT.
Yes,
you always call it, and we'll be able to see it here.
It's a strange pocket. As long as the player doesn't go out to the right and try the hook kick, it naturally, for some reasons, seems to slide left to right a little in the last few metres of flight, Richo. Now look at that. Walker, while the umpire wasn't watching then, took a step sideways back into the field of play.
Well done.
How was that? Sneaky from Andrew Walker. About 45 metres out, kick on the way. Just holds it line with that little natural hook. And in the end, behind.
Players miss shots, I reckon, because the goalposts now are a lot higher than they used to be, BT.
Hang on. Players miss shots because the goalposts are higher.
They're higher, and therefore they look skinnier. It's an illusion.
Inside, finds Russell. You've gone crazy, Richo.
I'm telling you.
High goalposts is why they miss.
When they are lower, they look wider. I'm telling you.
You're out on your own here, Richo. I think you actually have lost it tonight. What are you thinking?
When they go higher, they look skinnier, Das.
Oh, no. Richo's
gone. Oh, well.
Crackpot. Is that your big theory?
Yeah, but it is, and we'll get some tweets on it, maybe.
I'm sure he will. Russell comes in, hammers it, but off to the right.
They're too high for him.
In theory, Richo, the higher the posts, the narrower they are, and the more room between the goalposts, actually.
Is that right? Well, I reckon they look, when the higher up they go, the skinnier they appear to be to the eye.
Just can now get a bit of an idea of what was going through your mind when you were playing and lining up for the goal.
Over 50.
Now, McBurney has said that Goddard has come over the line there.
No, 50 metre. It was Jeffy Garlett who encroached on the mark.
Jeffy Garlett, sorry.
Brendan.
Goddard's kick, naturally.
Goddard's kick here. 50 metres, ran over the mark.
There you go. Umpire said he ran over the mark.
Brendan, here. You're here.
Got to come over the mark.
Goddard's here.
They're all confused tonight.
That's it.
I'm confused. Goddard. Really slow play here. Graham.
Right there, thanks. That's your mark, Jordan. Right there.
Just inside the centre square at half back. Del Santo now.
Right there, Jeff. That's your mark.
Goddard wide if he wants that. Instead he goes for the high degree of difficulty kick to Rewalt in the end. It spent too long in the air, and Robinson, the little goer, says, I'll have a piece of that, thanks. Now Garlett and Del Santo go. Did well, Del Santo. Held it up a while. Robinson just loves a scrap. Wait missing the low ball. Simpkin, Dempster, and now Geary along with Ray. Armitage has got a break on his man. If he wants to go there, he can go back inside to Blake. He ignored the Blake one. Would have straightened them up a little.
Still hasn't been able to take a mark, Jared Waite, averaging 10 a game coming into this match. Still hasn't been able to get one tonight. They need to get him into the game.
6 points St Kilda lead as we draw down to the last couple of moments of this half. Rewalt strong in the pack, off hands. Jack Stephen before he hit the deck. The boy from the Great Ocean Road, the chiseler, finds Milne. Rewalt, a little sore, play on, round the corner, and the goal is home for Stevie Milne. Rewalt gets back to his feet, but the Saints by 12 points.
Big goal from little Milne, getting involved again, and a big play for the Saints as Rewalt commits himself to the contest. Jack Stephen runs away with the footy. Richo's goal-kicking theory has been well received, BT. We're getting tweets left, right and centre. Tim Watson's just tweeted in. Richo, what are you talking about? We might need a spell with you down on the boundary line. Former goal-kicking great Jason Dunstall all over it, saying Richo may well have just lost the plot.
All I'm saying is the higher they go up, they appear to the eye to get narrower.
I would suggest you say no more about that. Out of the middle, the Saints in the nick of time, lead it by 2 goals.
My footy. Thanks, guys.
And this may well be the game that sent Richo over the edge. Have a look at the players lined up down the backbone of this ground. The one-on-ones going on around the contest. Tui, the yellow-booted Tui. Flick on by Walker to Betts. Walker fast hands, Waite. Back inside to Gibbs. Gibbs gathers. Goes even wider to Scotland, and this range is not beyond him.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed if they concede a goal here, the Saints. They had a loose player, Geary, behind the ball, and Scotland was still able to find space out wide.
Needs to get momentum. Winds up from 51 out. Good looking ball. It's all about accuracy. Just offline.
One thing Scotty Waters will be really happy about as they go to the half-time break is their ability to put pressure on Carlton. They've scored 7 goals to the Saints from turnovers so far in the first half, and they really have been able to just make the Carlton midfield in particular feel some extra heat tonight than they have in the past.
Well, Carlton have led at half-time in every game this year. They are not going to lead this one at half-time. 26 seconds remaining in it. St Kilda by 11 points.
Important that they just stay composed here and hold on to it now.
Chance, plenty of time. 15 seconds for the Saints. Henderson knocked down. Malera has gone past it. Just timing. Curnow was bundled over. Milne tries to scrap. Got it off to Sard. Have a look at that. With 2 seconds remaining on the clock. Sard gets another. His second goal. Siren sounds. Saints by 17 points. Right on the half-time siren.
Hey, what a way to go to the half-time break for the Saints. Look at the play in Rubon's contest was sensational. Look at Lenny Hayes. Just drove Curnow into the ground. Milne kept his feet magnificently.
That was it, Das, keeping his feet.
Had every right to go to ground, and the finish was amazing from Sard. Great stuff from the Saints. They came in as underdogs. They now have a 17-point lead at half-time. Brett Ratton's got some questions to ask. Stick with us here. We've got a ripping Monday night game. It's St Kilda by 17 points at half-time.
Next, Cameron Ling chats with Saints skipper Nick Rewalt, and I'll give you an inner sanctum look at the Carlton Football Club.
I'm still here.
10 start.
Yes, the Oz Kickers getting it done here at half-time. And don't they enjoy that? It is a 17-point St Kilda lead over the Blues here at halftime. Let's get down to Cameron Ling with Brett Ratton.
We've had numbers back there, but we actually haven't defended that well tonight.
Is it coming a lot from the clearances? You boys have dominated the hit-outs, but haven't been able to take advantage of it at ground level?
In our front half. I think with them getting numbers back, it's allowed them to really transition out there really quickly, and they've got the ball inside their 50 and actually scored a lot. I think they're around 72%, so that's extremely high. So we've had numbers back there, but we actually haven't defended that well tonight.
Is it coming a lot from the clearances? You boys have dominated the hit-outs, but haven't been able to take advantage of it at ground level?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I think when the ball's actually been hit and spread, they've actually got on the end of it, and then the kicker's had a bit of clean air and actually done really well with the footy. So I think our pressure's been off a little bit, especially back a centre.
St Kilda's intensity of their tackling and bottling the ball up's been quite good. Is it a matter of you needing to get the ball on the outside to bring Cade Simpson, Judd and these guys into the game?
Yeah, we are. We're going to start Murphy at half forward and see if we can drag Jones away from those clearances, and that might just give us a bit more speed outside, and we'll try and get Simpson inside to get a bit more of the footy.
Really appreciate your time, Rats. All the best.
Thanks, Lee.
Thanks, mate.
Brett Ratton down there and enjoying the moment with him. Cameron Ling just about ready to go here in the second half, Richo.
Yeah, well, Brett Ratton mentioned a few of those players there, but the one for me is Simpson. They need to get him back into the game. Only had one touch in that second quarter, and he's become almost one of the most important players. We know how important Judd is, but Simpson does all that running on the outside and breaks the game open, carries it over a line and puts it inside 50. They need to get him back into the game.
All right, we're just about ready to get underway here. So you can see the players getting back out into their positions. Looking forward to a second half. Just reminding you, the subs, Allard for Carlton and Sipos for the Saints. Nick Riewoldt trying to urge his team on. And as I mentioned before, we've had about 8 lead changes in this first half of footy already. St Kilda by 17 points.
Twitter's just about exploded, BT.
On Richo's theory.
Goal kicking theory.
Oh.
They're getting some support from strange quarters, though. Big Juzz, in theory, Richo is right. It makes sense too. Goalposts higher, equal, looks skinnier. But a lot just think you've completely lost the plot as well, Richo.
It is definitely an optical illusion, Das. And I reckon if we go to one of the unis or something like that, and one of the scientists there will back me up.
You mean a place where you've never been, Richo?
No, I never set foot in one of those. But I reckon if I went there, I could garner some support from
Richo said to me that if he went and spoke to a scientist,
he'll back me up.
The scientist would agree with you.
Yeah, I reckon he would. It's an optical illusion.
Interesting to see Mark Murphy there. It looks as though he's going to start forward. He's had a tough first half with Jones doing the strong tagging role on him. Going to take him to the goal square and see if Jones wants to play full back to start the second half.
Cruz up against Stanley. Stanley looking like he's not enjoying the contact in there in the middle. And an entry already. Dangerous. Malera gets it back to Hayes. Just got a bit of boot on it through some traffic.
So I really like the feel of the forward set up for the Saints so far. Riewoldt had his chances because he hasn't been as prominent as he has in the last couple of weeks, but at least he's commanding enough respect to create some space. And the small Sard and Malera, Richo, have had a really impressive first half.
Well, that's the difference. That's the life and the energy at ground level that's keeping them in front tonight.
Wilkes from behind. Elevated. Riewoldt. Hands off. Malera around the corner. Did it bend enough? No, it didn't.
Rui going back to umpire McBurney and saying, how about the punch in the face? Isn't that a free kick? It was a bit of a glancing blow, and I think umpire was pretty reasonable in letting it go.
Malera with 3 first half goals. Henderson against the smaller Malera there. Now, can the Blues open them up with some outside run, or St Kilda going to be able to continue to control that?
What ask Cameron Ling down there? Just the match-up with Simpson early on in this quarter. Lingy, have you been having a look at that at all?
It appears as though Farron Ray has gone to him. At this stoppage, he's not. Ray's peeled off and gone to Andrew Walker, but in general play, it appears as though Ray's going to play the role on Simpson and try and limit his influence on the outside.
And he's done a great job too. Simpson's been dangerous. Farron Ray's come on and shut him down and been able to get a fair bit of footy himself. Ray's had 14 possessions, and Simpson has been really quiet after a big start in the first quarter.
Farron Ray's almost positioning himself on the defensive side of the stoppage. Now he's trying to go back to Cade Simpson, but he just doesn't want Simpson to get on the outside and get that dangerous ball.
There is Simpson, some real work being put in to him as Goddard flirts with the boundary line and did well to keep it in and gain 30.
Well, Simpson's now trying to go and play on Hayes, so you got that old three-man run around happening at the moment.
Cruiser dominating there with the one arm. Hayes was caught in the one arm Gibbs tackle as well.
Yeah, this is it here. Simpson's trying to get rid of Ray by going to Lenny Hayes. Just got to persist with it though, Farron Ray.
Umpire McBurney wanting some room. He's saying, move away, guys. Give me some space here. Or
move, Farron.
Matthew Leopard, in fact. Just bounce it, umpire. Cruiser to Judd. Magnificent ruck work. Judd long. Weight getting back. Got to do it all. And nicely done in the end by Simpkin.
He's really improved, Simpkin.
There's Geary. Garlett pressuring him. Did well, Dempster. Now Farron Ray got the run on the inside from Jones, linking with the left-footed Gilbert. He hammers it inside 50 with great success. Rewalt will have to kick at 55. Here comes the lead of Cozzy. Goes wider than that and finds Jack Stephen. And Jack Stephen will get a look from 30 metres out on a 45-degree angle. And the boy from Lorne in Victoria and on the Great Ocean Road via the Geelong Falcons.
He came off the bench then, Stephen. Ran straight inside 50. As Nick took the mark, he was there on his own. That happens so often now, the timing of the interchange.
14 touches tonight. Stephen comes in and splits the middle. Saints by 24 points.
And nice coast-to-coast goal as well for the Saints. They were able to run it through half-back. Gilbert's kick was a bit of a floater. Reebok playing in front. And as Richo pointed out, Stephen had snuck on and found some space. And a really easy goal to start the second half.
Biggest lead of the game. Jack Stevens' goal puts them 24 points up, the Saints.
He's a much improved player. 15 touches tonight. That's what they needed. There's always talk about the bottom end players on their list not coming through. Well, he certainly is. And I think Simpkin's really improved from what I've seen this year at half-back, developing into a good tall defender also.
Farron Ray doing well to urge that ball wide. Curnow, Strong, Murphy. Now Walker. Gilbert with the smother.
There's Mark Murphy on screen, BT and Richo. It's really interesting. He's decided to play centre-half forward and full forward because Clint Jones has kept him to just 9 possessions. Ask Cameron Langley, when you had a player you were tagging take you forward, did you feel as though that was a bit of a mental win for you?
Bit of a win, Darcy, absolutely. You knew that if he was out of where he wanted to be and where the team really wanted him to be, so it was a bit of a win.
Scotland marks here directly in front of goal, well within his capabilities, this kick.
The worry, of course, Darcy, is if he goes forward on you and kicks a couple on you, then it's not so good.
Scotland's gone back for the run-up of all times.
Yeah, he's been quieter than normal too tonight, so this is where the Saints have been good. They've limited these running midfielders of Carlton, haven't been able to get it into space as much.
Scotland nails the goal. Back to an 18-point margin in favour of the Saints.
Chris Judd works his way back into the centre. Brett Ratton coaching from the boundary line with Justin Cordy alongside him, the sports science guru for the Blues.
Here's Scotland with the goal. 18 points adrift now, the Blues. Cruiser, Stanley. Armitage got one high.
Free kick, St.Kilda.
Judd hung on to him as well.
That's it.
Very, very lucky not to give away the 50 there. Armitage inside, Rewald up. Get hold of it, Curnow. Fierce handball to Russell. Robinson deliberately along the ground. Great hands and release from Bauer. On that occasion, Simpson on his wrong right foot into Armfield. Armfield off half-back. In the end, kicks it long. Hampson's got the opportunity here to beat the smaller Simpkin. Not even thinking about going for goal, wanting it short. Have a look wide. Desperate for it. Was Walker, I think it is.
Andrew, here.
He's gained a few metres, but not an easy pocket to kick goals from.
They need to start getting a bit more value out of their forwards, Carlton. They need Hampson to get involved more. Waite's got to try and get off his marker. Dempster, who's done a good job. Blake also back there, and Gilbert's kept Andrew Walker under control fairly well so far in the game as well.
35 metres out, difficult angle. There's a look at it, and he's a little bit of a hook there as well, but he's absolutely measured it perfectly. So Walker gets them back within 2 straight kicks, 12 points. Going down just a little too easy there, Andrew. Trying to milk another opportunity at goal. So Walker's goal, an important one. Successive goals here in this third quarter for the Blues.
Well, this was a beautiful shot for goal from Andrew Walker. It's good to see him back in this Carlton forward line. And he's looked their most dangerous forward inside 50 tonight. He's taken 4 marks, kicked 2 goals too. And he's certainly the only forward that looks like winning inside 50 for Carlton at the moment.
My footy. Thanks, Mitch.
Umpire Troy Pennell wasting no time, finding an opening to put it on the ground. Del Santo.
Tackle.
On Gibbs.
Oh.
So it'll be a Gibbs free.
Straight to him, Nick.
And look at Murphy circulating around the back and found some space here. Now Mark Murphy. Beautiful chiselling kick. Did well Blake to defend it. Saad gathers. Long Milne one-on-one. Wrapped him up there, I reckon, Joseph. Yeah, umpire waited a while to pay that one.
Grab the jumper.
He's a really nice mover, Saad. Ahmed Saad, the second game at BT. I really like the way he sums up the right play. And there was a jumper grab, so the free kick absolutely there. And even though there was a 2-on-1, it was a quick ball movement. And Milne able just to create that perceived pressure, free kick. And this should be a gimme for the little man.
Doesn't like the drop punch, but he's going to go back and kick it. Much prefer to kick around the corner. A little rightish, but he kicks the goal. Back out to an 18-point lead for the Saints.
One of the things that the Saints didn't really do a lot of under Ross Lyon, because they had such a consistent run, was introduce too many young players. And they are under Scotty Waters, and I like the look of this man, Ahmed Saad, who is just playing his second game, and some excitement around what he's able to do.
Yeah, Milne did this well, turned his opponent around, Joseph, and it's amazing when you get the ball inside 50 quickly and the ball goes over the head of defenders, they panic, and there was no need for Joseph to grab the jumper there. He just panicked. That's what quick ball movement creates.
Saints by 18. Saad, now got a hand there. Jack Stephen has been a Trojan here tonight. Looking to gather in front of Simpson. Montagna. Look at this. Saad. Robinson got him. Is it a trip or a free? Umpire says go, go, go. And Goddard does. Well done from the young man. And Goddard acting then. That should be almost a free kick against there. Trying to milk the free.
BT, Ahmed Saad just starting to love what he does. Have a look at this. Take the game on. That is brilliant. He said, Mitch Robinson, you reckon you're quick? Good luck catching me. We've got another free kick. I know, in fact, it's a blood rule. Armitage is going to come off. There's some push and shove behind the play, but brilliant stuff from Saad. For a second gamer, just to say, hey, good luck catching me. And the trip was there. Should have definitely been a free kick. You've got to be a bit careful. You get reported if the deliberate trip is on. And Saad, he's really been great. Along with Malera, Rich, I love the way the small forwards have played tonight.
They're the ones. They've kicked 3 goals each, 9 goals between them, the small forwards. And they're the difference at the moment for the Saints. They've got some real life inside 50.
Okay,
and
let's go.
that handball from Lenny Hayes, that's what he does well. He releases other players into space. Terrific from Lenny.
Saints back out by 24. Cozzy in the ruck. Scotland trying to back out of the Malera tackle. Jones in there. Went and got it. Ray. Russell. Murphy with a tap along. Here's Goddard. Well done, Hampson. Knocking the ball loose.
Carlton!
Free kick off the ball here. It'll go against Blake.
Carlton free kick. Jared White. Okay, stay there, Troy. Put in the ground, Troy.
So it'll be a weight ball. Well off
Jason. No.
the action that free kick paid by umpire Troy Pennell.
Gee, Blake's been terrific on him tonight, though. Waite still hasn't taken a mark. Jason Blake, better take your hat off to him. He's been great on Waite tonight.
Waite to the pocket. Just don't know about kicking the ball from there to that position. Got to get it in front of goal in the dangerous. Have a look at this. Umpires said they were going to be firm on acting and pay frees against. Now that's down at the goals. If the umpire had fallen for that, that's a free kick that got out and a goal. Just don't know about that. Kick around the corner. Jamison juggling control of the ball. Goes back to Henderson, avoids Stanley momentarily. Boot on ball. Garlett had very little space with the exception of the opening 15 minutes of this game. Tui to Jamison. All of this on the wing here at the moment. Some players lining up in the middle if they can get clear. Bauer does. Non-preferred left. Dempster placed himself in a nice position. Look at this. They've got the loose out the far side.
He's a good player, Sean Dempster. He can play on Franklin 1 week and then go on to a gun smaller than Eddie Betts. Premiership player with Sydney in 2005. Just great discipline, underrated speed, and just does the job that his coach wants him to every week.
A disciplined kick out wide there by Ray because he had nothing else on.
The Blues have just got to shore up their defence a little bit better. 20 scoring shots, the Saints, from 29 entries. That's way too many. They haven't been opened up like this during this season, Carlton.
Cruiser again in the ruck. Saints at ground level. Here Graham harassed. Simpkin went in. Dempster's there. Eddie's saying, come on. Umpire not agreeing.
No, he was bumped onto it then, Eddie.
There's the explanation.
He bumped on it.
Yeah, bumped onto it, the umpire is suggesting. I've been equally impressed with the Saints' defence as well. I looked at the game tonight and thought, no Sam Fisher. Blake's maybe got to spend some time in the ruck with their issues there with McAvoy out, but they have really stood up and one-on-one, head-for-head. Simpkin, we mentioned Dempsey just before, really are playing a ripping defensive game tonight.
I love this battle. Judd and Hayes, two of the superstars of the comp. Centering ball by Judd. Milne, defensive act, magnificent. Yeah, watch these guys at the stoppage. Have a look at this from Milne. Got a hand on it. Did well. Out of his comfort zone there, Stevie Milne. Hampson, Robinson, Gibbs. Has it got enough? Simpkin.
Spoke to Brett Ratton at half-time about the fact that Carlton are absolutely dominating the hit-outs, but St.Kilda are getting all the clearances. I think they've got to change that at ground level. They brought Murphy back onto the ball from the forward line to try and get some clearances and some first use.
Yeah, a lot of Carlton players in the middle here that don't have men at the moment.
I think it might be time, BT and Richo, for Brett Ratton actually just to try and get some influence into this game. And maybe you go the other way. Maybe you get Wade up the ground, you clear out their tall forwards. Walker's not having enough of an impact, and go small. Give Eddie Betts and Jeff Garlett all the space inside 50 and see if you can burn them with a bit of pace. They need to change it up.
Montagna did really well against Judd. The kick was late getting there, and Montagna did really well. Kazitsky on the lead. Hampson is infringed.
Boys, just quickly, Aaron Joseph subbed off David Allard in the game.
Joseph off, Allard on. You can see Joseph on the bench there. I'm guessing, Lingy, that Allard will just resume the job that Joseph did, will he?
Oh, I think that's a fair bet. I think he'll go and enjoy having some hostilities with Milne and stir him up a little bit.
Cozzy steps to the line. Big kick, 50 metres out. Nearing the boundary line. He's given it a chance with the left to right, but hung it out a little bit too much.
Gee, they let Nick Grewalt get a good jump at that footy there.
2 goals apiece here in the third quarter. Saints by 23. Over the back, Stanley to Milne. His favourite shot around the corner, bringing it back. Stevie Milne doesn't let him down. Have a look at the celebration.
That was absolutely classical stoppage work from Stephen Milne. You must man up, Stephen Milne. Tui, he got a good block, but you've got to be more aware of that and know that it's coming. And that was a great block and a great goal by Stephen Milne.
And Richo left completely alone at the stoppage as David Allard was left standing on the bench, very frustrated that he couldn't get on the ground on time to stop that goal.
But the block from Nick Del Santo on Tui that allowed Milne to get that space was terrific. Well done, Nick Del Santo. He's not having the best night. He's only had the 9 disposals, but he creates that goal for Stephen Milne.
Oh, Milne celebrating goal number 3, and there's no better celebrator in the business.
Out of the ruck, holding the ball. Carlton.
4, goal number 4 it is, in fact.
Robinson's free kick.
For Stevie Milne. Goes inside. 50 again for the Blues. Blake there.
Move away.
Montagna. Hand in that last one, Malira. So the last 2 goals coming from St Kilda, 29-point advantage, biggest lead of the game. Milne with 4, Malira with 3. Need to get cracking with 8.5 remaining in the third quarter here. The Blues, they are a very quick scoring team when allowed.
They've just taken the game completely away from Carlton and how they like to play it. They've only taken 6 marks for the quarter. They can't get any control of the football, the Blues, and it's been a great effort by the Saints and their coaching staff. They've got to take something away from the opposition, and they've done that.
Allowed no outside run.
Yeah, you've spot on. It's been great.
Montagna quick to get it away. Jamieson under the pump here. A little bit of space for Carlton here. Scotland back to Jamieson, but he's got to make a difficult kick to Walker. Walker was able to intercept it nicely. Takes Blake on. Scotland will be under pressure here. Blake did really well. Pushed it out to Stanley. In the end, some numbers arrive. Curnow around the corner to Dygan, strong in front of Graham. Graham disappointed with himself. He didn't get a fist on that. Dygan along the line, short to Waite. A rare mark for that man. Waite with a magnificent kick to Bauer. Rewalt's got to go. Bauer on his left. I wonder whether he could have straightened on the right. Simpson dropped the double attempt over the back. Left foot snap around the corner. High ball. Eddie's got to fight 3 of them. Can't get it done in the end.
In the back.
Free kick, St Kilda.
Paul Bauer's kick was really disappointing. He just let that one hang in the air. Simpson had all the space, made the play. And once again, I know this is their A-grade plan to have Hampson as a tool to get cruisers down there. They've got Walker and they've got Waite, who on paper are good matchups, but they aren't getting the job done. So I think it's time, with 7 minutes to go in the third quarter, BT, just to change it up a bit.
Okay, what do we do?
You go small. I mean, Eddie Betts is a capable player in the lead. Jeffy Garlett with his leg speed, give them space. See what the small defenders can do when they're one out in the goal square. If you can orchestrate something different.
There's Judd with a centering high ball on the head of Hampson there. As you say, no mark completed on that occasion. Betts with the soccer for the behind.
Even Judd resting forward, Murphy resting forward. The tools aren't just having an impact for Carlton.
Wait there. Wait there, Mitch. Play on.
6.5 minutes in the third remaining. Graham, not much on, so he just barrels it out to the wing. And Carlton are going to close in on this through Jamison. Off to Robinson. Or was it Scotland? It was. Scotland to Bauer. Farron Ray. Tanya Simpson trying to work through some traffic. Blake did well again in desperation. Oh, some Lenny Hayes foot candy to open it up was magnificent.
How good was that?
Del Sano into the middle of the ground here to Armitage. He'll gather. Can he straighten to get the journey? On the left, he decides to go with a ripping kick. Sensational foot candy from Lenny.
Lenny Hayes, you are a star. Just the most respected player in the game, Lenny. I love what he does, and found a way amongst the heat again just to weave some magic, set up a brilliant goal for the Saints, who are running away with this one, 34-point margin.
Well, this is great from Lenny Hayes, and then the vision to get it out into space to Dell, who put it into the middle to this man Armitage, and he was standing in the centre corridor completely on his own. Eddie Betts was in the forward 50 and made an attempt to come up and pick him up, but you can't allow a player to have that much room in the middle.
Lenny Hayes again, BT.
Look at that. The quick hands in the middle, extraordinary from the grunters in the St Kilda team, led by that man there, Lenny.
I'd love to have one more look at that last bit of candy, as you called it, BT. Coming back from a knee reconstruction, that's the motion that you just want to have confidence in your body. He has had just about the best return from a knee reconstruction I've seen in recent years. He has got 100% confidence in his body, has not missed a beat, right back to his best already.
Digan with not much on downfield. If they are on, it's all like this, one-on-one. Wait, got rid of his man. No one there, so Goddard will close. Almost happy to concede the boundary. In fact, he did let it go over in the end.
Just have a look at this. If you've had an ACL reconstruction, you're worried about planning and can your lateral movement go side to side. That is as hard a turn on his reconstructed knee. He is flying.
Here he is again, being tackled by Betts. Advantage paid. Murphy with Goddard's fingertip. A saver for Brendan Goddard.
Gee, it probably was on then for Mark Murphy to have a shot, but it's a big decision to make that advantage, Rob.
First time in a long time I've seen St Kilda do all the little things that matter. And they are getting it done here tonight.
BT, when they were at their absolute best 2009, 2010, that's exactly what they did. Every single player on the list did every single thing right.
And this is the first time we've seen that for a while, Lingy, isn't it?
Absolutely, BT. Fully agree with you.
Since those successful days, shot at goal here. And in the end, it's the sub, Allard, that's done the job. So Allard comes on. Kicks a goal, a little bit of relief for the Blues. St Kilda now by 27, but 4.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. They need another one or two very quickly. And I think we're seeing St Kilda player come off there. Might be Dempster with what appears to be an injury as well. The ruck work by Hampson to the sub, Allard. And the goal sees a 27-point margin now for the Saints. Out of the middle, Walker. It's got weight on the lead. It's a difficult left foot kick, but it's made. He said he's ran too far.
Andrew. Ran from the centre to outside the square. Got to be more than 15.
All right, there's Steve McBurney's explanations. Let's have a look.
Yeah, but he was 10 or 15 metres outside the centre.
And he kicked it on that last step. That's just a little bit of over-umpiring.
Yep.
Could be costly too, because Wake took the mark.
Here's Murphy. Gathers. Eddie. Dangerous. Can he get it? No.
It's just not happening for the Blues. Eddie finally gets some space and just had a metre too much on it, the kick.
Look, I know I sound a bit like a broken record on this one, but Hampton's had 7 possessions, hasn't looked like it. Waite's just had the 9 disposals, hasn't got near it. Cruz is not doing any damage forward. They've got great smalls. Walker's pushed up in the middle of the ground, and he can play that role as well. I'd love to isolate Betts. I'd love to get little Jeffrey Garland in some space.
Goddard not liking the ball then, decided to change. I think about 7 balls used in a game of footy these days, 3 in the bags at each end and the 1 in the middle. Wanted to have a change of ball. Here's Hampson. Off hands, Waite, multi-skilled. How about that? Scotland, Robinson. Back to Robinson now. Judd, they're queuing up at the back. Allard gets another look. A long ball from 52. Armity's right on the line.
We thought Allard would take the role on Stevie Milne. He's actually pushed into the midfield to provide a fair bit of run for them, and is actually looking quite dangerous in front of goal.
Here's Henderson. This time he puts it in a dangerous spot. Top of the square. Eddie in front jumps. Armity did well with the front centre. Now he's under Betts and Walker pressure. Did he sit on it? The umpire said no.
No, didn't dive on it. Thank you.
Fans becoming a little erratic.
Thank you.
Here. Deep in the pocket. Carlton applying the screws here. Hampson a knock to space. Armfield's handball. Gobbled up by Malera. He was held by Robinson. Gee, I thought he might have got him high, but Robinson's got the free.
He's saying he had prior opportunity. Well, he was grabbed.
And I think he said he ducked his head as well, didn't he?
He was grabbed as he landed on the ground, so I'm not sure where his prior opportunity was.
Really expecting the Blues to respond here, boys. Last time they were on top of the ladder, it was round 12, 1996 at this stage of the season. Big game for them.
Big kick. Robinson to get it back to 20-point margin, and he does it. 2 minutes remaining in the third. So a big goal there for the Blues. They're back within 20. St.Kilda doing everything right at the moment. Robinson with a free directly in front. Kicked the last 2, the Blues.
Well, here is this free kick. The umpire called he had prior opportunity to get rid of it. Well, as his feet hit the ground, he was grabbed immediately.
But he looked up at the umpire, and I reckon that's what gave it away then.
I'm not sure you can have prior opportunity if your feet haven't even landed on the ground, though.
I think that's why I heard him also say that he ducked the head.
St.Kilda.
Still going to tackle him correctly.
Right there, Dennis.
Here's Farron
Right
Ray.
there.
Goes into Wilkes. Wilkes on the lead. Followed by Bauer. Hayes. Pursued by Allard. Back to Wilkes. Great tackle by Bauer. Umpire said it was knocked out on the tackle. Fair enough. Allard now, who's given them a little bit of run. This one's wide to Gibbs. Goddard did well to get a body on him. And just bowl him out of the way.
Walk away.
Juddy and Lenny Hayes cleaned up the umpire at the last centre bounce. Might be a little fine coming that man's way.
I think Juddy will probably be able to cover that, Gus, I'd say.
More Hayes, wasn't it, that got in the way? Judd probably pushed him there, by the way.
Yeah.
So I've just seen a rise in the intensity here from the Blues at the moment. Can they handle it, the Saints? They appear they can at the moment. But it's really starting to rise. That's why the tackling is back here for the Blues now. Make no mistake. St Kilda must rise with it to keep their lead. Rewald around the corner. Handball back. The charging ball. Stephen inside to Milne. If Milne can gather, he will take his man on. Make no mistake. Kick around the corner. Difficult one. Malera. Ground level ball. Hasn't knocked out. Scotland put it back in there. No free paid in the end. Robinson. And that kick's a little short. Jeffy wanting to open them up in the middle. Here they go, Gibbs. Oh, what a magnificent punch from Brendan Goddard. Sensational from Goddard.
That's been an enthralling matchup, Goddard and Gibbs.
It is rising here at the moment. Mitch Robinson trying to bore a way through.
He's in a bit of strife.
He is in strife. Siren sounds. Robinson's down, but he's tough. He's hurt and he'll get to his feet. But I tell you what, if we start where we left off, this game has got a lot of juice left in it yet. He looks okay. There's the replay, using his head as a buffer.
Gee, he's as hard as nails, Mitch Robinson. He's up on his feet. I think he's all right. Big quarter coming up. The Blues fought back there, BT.
Oh, stay with us. They kick the last two. Brett Ratton says, well done to Mitch. Stay with us. The intensity has gone to another level. St Kilda by 20 at three-quarter time. They have played some magnificent football here tonight, the Saints, and as a result, they lead this game, hard-fought game, by 20 points here at three-quarter time. Last time Carlton were in front, second quarter, 2 minutes 44 mark. Let's get down to Cameron Link.
Scotty, high-intensity pressure game of footy, but Carlton out-tackled you 28-12 in that quarter. Is that a concern?
Absolutely. I thought their intensity lifted late in the quarter. We've got to respond. Really, probably the biggest concern for us is forward 50 stoppages. They've been pretty damaging there. Robinson blocking. We've got to make sure we look after that.
You guys have been very dangerous when you've gone forward, though, on the other hand.
Yeah, I've liked the setup of our structure. I think Sard, Milne, they've all come to play tonight. They've been good.
Thanks, mate. All the best.
Scotty Waters, I think, would be really happy with the effort up until three-quarter time. There's Ahmed Sard, who has been dangerous. The small forwards, Milne's kick four. I've liked Taylor Malera as well with 3 goals. But the Carlton response in that last 5 minutes of the third quarter was great. It set up a fantastic finish to this one, Richo. Really even. They were favourites to start the game. If they get that outside run going and that speed, they will really be dangerous and could storm home here, the Blues.
Yeah, and it looks like they've changed their forward setup a little bit, Dust. They've actually pushed all of the little fellas up to the centre-half forward line, and they've left Cruiser and Waite deeper, so they're still relying on the marking targets. It hasn't worked all night, though.
Big last quarter. It finished in sensational circumstances with the intensity rising in this game from both teams. Particularly Carlton, as Scotty Waters alluded to there in that interview with Cameron Ling.
Oh, how was Nick Reebok there? That is trademark Rui. Eyes on the ball, back with the flight.
And hammers the ball inside 50. Armity's the target. Judd flew off hands. Sard had it taken away, otherwise he was through. Make no mistake. Russell and Montagna go at it.
That is a nice little step, Ahmed Sard, Scott, isn't it? He just...
The ball just got knocked out, but he was through, wasn't he?
Yep.
He looks dangerous.
He's got a bit of sideways slide about him. Look at this. Look at this.
Oh, gee, good effort to get a hand on the ball there and knock it free.
Is that Lenny Hayes doing the ruck work? Down to Farron Ray.
He's doing it all tonight, Lenny.
Thank you. Mark's here.
Including a bit of head-to-head time with Chris Judd. You can see there right in the centre of your screen, Juddy and Lenny doing battle.
Down the line here, Cruiser.
Gee, that was a strong mark. Came in from the side, floated in beautifully, Matty Cruiser.
It's an over the top to Waite. Got to beat a couple though. Blake's one of those. He's done a terrific job tonight. Blakey. Del Santo to Armitage. Been very impressive as well. Couple of bounces. There's the space. No one coming at him. And I just wonder whether Nick Rewalt should have turned and came at him then on his non-preferred side. He'd run a fair way, I must admit.
Well, one thing I'd like to see the tackle here. Good, paid the free kick for Nick.
Incorrect disposal, yeah.
They've been able to match Carlton on the outside, which coming to the game tonight, I didn't think they'd be able to do. They've had more uncontested possessions. Saw Armitage running and bouncing then.
He's not sure of the distance here, Rewalt, so he pops it up at the top of the square. Intelligent kick. Hampson up with a hand. Ray Hayes, gee, just didn't make enough contact. Allard had a look, Tui. Stolen in the end by Del Santo. They're under enormous pressure here, the Blues. Curnow out wide with a kick that will go out of bounds on the full. So St Kilda applying the pressure early here in the fourth.
Play on!
20-point margin they've got is nothing in modern football. Over the top. Reece Stanley with a ripper.
Well, they've had the first 4 inside 50s, and if you keep pumping it in there, eventually someone will stand up and take a mark, and he's come 4 deep there, Reece Stanley. Gee, that was strong. Been some good marking tonight.
Stanley only about 25 metres out. Very good set of dukes.
He's in the ruck at the moment, I think, Darcy. He made Hampson defend, and he couldn't go with him.
Yeah, just didn't get there step for step, Hampson, and great effort from this man.
It's a bit of a dagger here to get it back to a 26-point margin. He just tried to belt it too hard, I reckon. Only needed the little 9-iron there, and he went for the driver.
Yeah, it's an important miss, that one. It would have been a nice little buffer, as you said, BT, out to 26 points.
A let off for the Blues. Cruiser, 2 good marks in the quarter. Garlett looking for space. Look at this, no one can go with him when he gets the wheels motoring. They just happen to be fluoro colour tonight. Walker, difficult kick to Betts. Unloaded as Dempster. And the battle is on up forward for the Blues.
BT, Bo Wilkes subbed off. Aaron Sipos is being subbed onto the ground. Want Wilkes off, a smaller running player to provide some run to the midfield late in this game.
So Wilkes off, Sipos on, as Lingy has told us there is Bo Wilkes. Carlton's really their first time inside 50 in this quarter.
Throw it in.
Well, it appears as though at this stage Brett Ratton is happy just to stick with the plan they came in with. Hasn't made any positional changes. I just keep having this feeling that if status quo remains, St Kilda are going to grind out a win. I think he needs to influence their structure. Maybe Jarrett Waite goes to centre back, Henderson goes up forward. They can both change roles. It's just a different matchup. Maybe Henderson catches fire and catches a couple, and potentially the reverse. Waite's capable of playing centre back on Rewalt at the same time.
Question on screen before, do you think the Saints will make the 8? Well, if they win tonight, they go into the 8. Blues had top position on their minds tonight, and Garlett with the poor tackle. We'll see Farron Ray with a free.
Yeah, there's going to that last spot in the 8, I reckon, this year. There's going to be 3 or 4 teams trying to go into one spot. I reckon it's going to go down the wire a bit more this year. They normally say by about round 8, it doesn't generally change too much. Well, I reckon it might this year. It might go right down to the wire.
Probably going to need more wins this year. Maybe 12 or 13, Richo, to get a taste of finals action.
12 normally gets you in there.
High ball, off hands. Blake, Betts, ground little ball, Judd, fast hands, got it out in some space. Here's Murphy, Del Santo did well. Blake in there was really cool. A brutal tackle by Cruiser.
No prior.
Almost breaking, I think it was Malera in half. Bang! Got him. Umpire Troy Pennell in amongst almost 36 players there. Dempster with the tackle.
Keep an eye on Eddie Betts around this forward stoppage.
All but 2 players are inside 50 here.
See Eddie having a word to Juddy and Mark Murphy there, maybe getting one of them to maybe block for him at this stoppage.
Have a look at the ruck work here. Get a good bounce. Had a crack at it. Just need to be careful here. The Saints, Farron Ray caught in the turnout tackle. Someone will try and get on the run, and as Richo suggested, the block is on here.
I reckon the Saints will just try and force it through for a behind and get possession back.
Cozzy with the ruck work. Cruiser knocked it to the boundary quite deliberately.
Just looking down at the ball winners in the game so far, 7 of the top 8 ball winners are Saints. Chris Judd the exception. So Ray, Montagna, Goddard, Hayes and Stephen have just been able to win more of the footy so far.
Gilbert out of defence. Carlton got the numbers back. Here's Russell, got a shocking bounce. Sard, now Russell. Look at him try and motor him down. I think Sard's got him covered. No, Russell did well. Stanley with just the one juke runs into the open goal. Blistering speed from the Saints.
Great call, BT. That was a ripping passage of play. And that man there, Ahmed Saad, the Blues fans look on. They're starting to feel some pain. Reece Stanley, he can run, the big fella. Great take from Saad. And a big goal extends the margin out to 27 points.
Russell. What about the bounce there, BT? But the wheels of Saad, how quick is he? That is great. We've got it across to Stanley, who for a big man is very quick also. Got a bit of pace about them tonight. A few changes in this lineup. Saad and Malera have added a bit around the edges.
That has applied enormous pressure on the Blues now. Milne might have got a hand in the back of Tui.
It's interesting because the umpire with the best view, the side on, was going to allow that as a mark to Stephen Milne. The umpire with the front on view intervened and decided that that was a hands in the back decision.
Yeah. Correctly so, and I think Milne knew that.
I think we've found a player tonight,
haven't we?
Ahmed Saad, second game.
What about Robinson then? Furious with either the teammates or the umpire for not being able to go sideways there. Probably the teammates, I think.
BT, you predicted it last week with Saad that he had some tricks about him.
Oh yeah, he has. He's a real glider, Richo. I'm liking his work early on. He and Malera have been slippery.
Absolutely, BT. Creates a dangerous forward line when you've got Malera, Saad and Stevie Milne all buzzing around the feet of the big fellas.
Rewalt, up he goes. Delcano, Simpson now out one side. They bust and go here. Here's Eddie, come a long way down. Murphy's on the run if he wants him over the top. Now beyond this, not much for the Blues. Murphy just backs up knowing that.
Getting some tweets through. AFL Hash Brown reminding us that Reece Stanley won the grand final sprint.
Yeah.
Going back a few years ago for a 200-centimetre ruckman. That might explain why he was able to burst away and run into an open goal.
Absolutely. Dygan to Cruiser. Two good marks already. Because he did well to defend that time. Goddard. Coat-hanged by Jeffy.
Brendan Goddard. Thanks, Jeff.
A little crude. And Goddard also making it a little more spectacular. Dempster. Rewald at the back. Nudged his man under the ball beautifully.
Yeah, that was great. That's the difference from Milne's. He didn't use his hands, he used his hips. Got Henderson under the football and great contested mark.
If you nick Rewald here, you go back and you kick this goal.
This is the old captain's goal, BT.
Oh, Richo.
Yeah, classic, isn't it?
It is. He's got it online. It's all about the journey. It drifted in its final moments of flight.
Bit of cliche, you reckon? Yeah, look at this. Didn't use his hands, just timed his bump with his hips perfectly, and that's how you've got to do it now. You can't touch him in the back, we know that.
He almost looked apologetic, BT, that he was having a shot from 50. Like, he just sort of half went back, thought, oh, we'll kick it. You'd love to just see him just pass the chest out and say, hey, I'm the man.
Own the moment.
Wayne Carey, he loved them, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. And Richo, you're going with the captain's goal cliche there.
Yes.
Is this the first time you've used that since you've been commentating the old cliche?
No, I reckon I've slipped it in somewhere else, BT.
Someone invented the cliche because they make sense, Brian.
Well,
give them a run.
It is a captain's goal. He's a captain. If he kicks a goal, it's a captain's goal.
Nice work with your goal kicking in that tonight. It's been good for you.
I've had more support with that goal kicking one, Brian, than what you give me credit for.
Yes.
Greg Blewett, former Australian cricketer, tweeting in Bluey, show a bit of support your way.
Yes.
A lot of support.
Better than that.
Still me.
Still the people's person. Judd. To Bauer. To Scotland. Kick to Jeffy. Dempster's got to go with him. Jeffy says, I'm going to keep going to wait. Little right foot chipper. 55 out. Walker's on the march here. Closed down now. Gone Jamison forward to the square and he arrives and out of bounds in the full. Saints fans loving that.
We're at the halfway minute mark of the last term here, Richo. 28 points. I've been talking some structural changes for the Blues. What do you do if you're Brett Ratten?
Well, I think you got to do something. You've got to move some players around into different positions because it just doesn't have the look about it that the Saints are going to go away. So
they're a fast-scoring team, Richo. I think you're underestimating the Blues if they can bust open here. A 28-point margin is nothing, Richo.
Yeah, it isn't. They can score quickly, but I think that what Darcy's been calling for all night in the forward line, a bit more pace, because the marking forwards, Cruz is down there now with Jamison and Waite. It just hasn't worked.
Montagna not giving the Blues away just yet. I think they've got one last belt in them. Goddard. Good ball to the man that has been subbed on in Sipos. Got the legs to go long, and he does. Milne got back just in the nick of time, Tui.
They just got it. They can't get it inside 50, so there's not much the forwards can do if it's not down there. 10-4 this quarter.
Brett Ratton down on the bench. Scotty Waters up in the box. Both doing it differently. Jack Stephen has been fantastic all night.
The problem for the Blues is they're not getting their hands on it in the contested possessions. If you can't get your hands on it, you can't get it moving forward. And the Saints are a little bit hungrier around the stoppages and the contest at the moment.
It's a throw out. Armitage around the body, across the face, and out of bounds on the full.
Well, it is time to take some risks here. David Armitage, who probably not the ideal kick of the footy, but that's the right play. They've just got to start taking the game on.
Here's Graham. Beautiful little chipper around to Armitage. Now, if Armitage goes here, then Das needs you to walk down to Rats and just start making a few moves here.
Well, everything I've suggested, he's done the opposite so far, Brian, and I think Armitage had the right idea. He just probably wasn't the player by foot to go across the face of goal, and it came back the other way. So it's jarred. Mark Murphy's been well held. They have to start really attacking hard through the corridor.
For a 34-point lead, Armitage comes in and squeezes that home. So now a 34-point St Kilda lead, which I think equals the biggest margin of the night. So that 34-point lead has meant this. St Kilda in the 8.
The expense of the Hawks, I think, BT. The player that deserves a lot of credit tonight is Farron Ray. He's been terrific. He shut Simpson out and he's won his own footy, 26 possessions. He's been really good.
So a 34-point lead. Needs to be Carlton at their best now, led by this man here. Gibbs. Wide to Simpson, left foot around the corner. Murphy did well to shepherd the ball. Walker didn't know it was going to get over the top though. Centering ball is good. Allard's taken the mark. I'm telling you what. Here it goes.
I love your positive glass half full stuff for BT. Mark Murphy, that was just disposed of number 15. He's been well held by Clint Jones and pushed forward. If they are to start injecting some, it's Murphy. It's Gibbs, it's their good players that have been quiet tonight. They've just got to start getting a bit more involved.
Hasn't kicked the goal this year. Gone for the long run up. Like to see him get a little closer to the man on the mark. He's careful and he gets it. Guess what? They are back within 28 points. Allard gets them back within 20. Has he started something? A few Carlton's players and an old champ there, Johnny Murphy, dad of Mark.
300 games, Johnny.
Yep, one of the legends of our game. Johnny Murphy, Fitzroy great. Chris Jardine, a lot rests on that man's shoulders here in the middle of the square, back within 28 points.
I reckon they need a goal out of this centre stoppage. Put the pressure back on.
Nothing in modern footy, Richo.
No.
9 minutes remaining, basically. They've got the clearance.
Got to bang this in. Just get it in there. Put
Simpson
the pressure on.
does exactly what Richo asked, but the loose man back in the hole is Geary, I think.
Didn't quite get onto that kick.
Dexter, in fact.
Just needed to get it up a bit higher and give the forwards a chance to make a contest and bring it to ground level for Eddie Betts.
Can they arrange the intensity they finished the third quarter with here, the Blues?
Nick, move away now, right out.
To tighten the screws.
Play on.
Down the line. A high ball. Armfield and Scotland combining. Now he's got the man in the middle in Mitch Robinson. The runner in Dygan wide and the loose man in Gibbs. Boy, a clean gather here needed. The fend-off was good. Back into Tui. The draw. I'm telling you, I'm sensing something big here. Hit the post.
I tell you what was great. It's exactly what they need. The inboard kick from Heath Scotland set that up, and Cruiser unfortunately hit the post from a Carlton perspective, but that's the way they've got to do it. They have to take the risk through the middle of the ground, and Heath Scotland summed it up beautifully.
It's almost trying to tempt St Kilda into just chipping a ball over the top. In the end, Sipos says, hey, I'm going long, and guess what? It's coming back. Curnow. They're starting to gain a bit of momentum here, the Blues. Mitch Robinson probably could have gone. Decided not to. They release backwards. Scotland on to Murphy. Murphy in front. Will be paid. 50 metres not beyond him either.
That's what's great about good players.
Look at
they
this.
don't need a lot of time.
The little chip to Allard again, I think it is.
He's provided life since he went on. Lingy called it. He went on and buzzed around. That's his third mark inside 50, Allard.
Is this within his length capabilities, BT?
Just on the extremities of them. So Carlton are coming, Richo.
They are. Last four inside 50s, BT.
Here is Allard. From the red line that represents 50. That looks great. I'm telling you, they're on the way back. They're back within 17. Allard with his third goal. In fact, he's kicked 3 of Carlton's last 4 goals. And he's got them back within 21 points here. There would be a few St Kilda supporters just getting a little itchy at the moment.
I like the change in forward structure. There's Eddie Betts at half forward. They've got Simpson down there. Mark Murphy's playing on his own in the goal square. Walker's the other forward, so they have got the bigs up the ground. It's a different looking forward setup. They're coming, the Blues.
Oh, they are. Oh, boy, they are. Cruiser. The Saints Montagna trying to respond and fire his mob up. But guess what? Another clearance. Gibbs had to retreat, though. Enormous pressure. Frontal pressure coming straight at the Blues. Scotland again in the middle. Transfers play. Bauer now. You can just sense it. 21 points. Plenty of time left. Just over 6 minutes. Goes wide and in the way is Simpson.
He's got to understand his limitations, Paul Bauer, as a player. Cutting back on your left foot through the corridor and trying to hit a 50-metre pass is not really part of his repertoire. Got to pick off the easy one.
38,823 in here tonight for Monday Night Football. Bauer just advances the ball forward. Graham wondering which way it's going to bounce, had to wait. Goddard went at it. Judd with the pressure. Hayes, all the big names there for the Saints. They need to get them around the ball.
St Kilda are starting to goal keep, boys. They're just heading back behind the play. It's good that they've got this free kick now. They can actually get into their forward half of the ground, but they were living back, just trying to save the game rather than keep playing.
Sorry, Lingy. That was a disappointing free kick, Carlton to give away to Nick Riewoldt. They had the extra man at that contest and just gave away possession of the footy with a stupid free kick.
At what stage should you start goalkeeping, Lingy? In this situation, we've got 4.5 minutes left, and it's a 21-point margin.
I don't think you goal keep, BT. It's all right to get one player behind the ball, but you still want to keep putting pressure on the ball carrier. Not let them have time to use the ball through the corridor, be dangerous. Eventually, if the game's in the attacking half of the ground for long enough, Carlton will kick goals. St Kilda need it up this end of the ground, lock it in.
Carlton supporters holding their breath at the moment. The Saints in the box seat. Del Sano advancing the ball and doesn't look much, but another 20 metres into a dangerous position for the Saints.
Just worked hard, Nick Del Sano tonight. Really had no space given to him at all, but tackled hard, 19 possessions.
A few more possessions in this last quarter so far for the Blues.
Well, as the clock ticks down, the natural game plan here, if you're in the defensive half, is to just play the percentage. Well, they can't afford that now. Cruz has got to flick one out over the back, get it into open space. They might risk a goal scored against, but they've got to try and score here, Carlton.
Yeah, the Saints have got a good setup behind this ball. Jason Graham is loose, so the Blues blaze away, he'll probably get possession.
You're all over it, Das. Cruiser did exactly what you asked him to do, knock it into a bit of space. Robinson, but now they've got to get it out. Picked up, Stanley around the corner with a timely goal. Reece Stanley with a big goal. Stanley with 2 last quarter goals has been very impressive, and this will do his confidence the world of good. He's only played the 16 games, and this will help him think he belongs.
Well, that is a great snap for a big man, and he's been in the ruck. He's kicked 2 goals in this last quarter. Cozzy's gone into this centre bounce, but he's had a big impact tonight, Reece Stanley.
Hampson over the back, went to the wrong spot there on that occasion, the Blues. Now Hayes avoiding Robinson. Well done, Lenny. Testing the knee with a bit of zigzag. Great kick under pressure from Gilbert. To Sard. Oh, boy, you're taking one of the old campaigners on there with a bit of hand-foot candy and did not buy it, Scotland.
He hung that one out there a little bit too much.
He did. Gee, that was hung out there, all right. Scotland, a 50-metre penalty. This will bring him within about 55, I reckon.
You are 5 metres back of the centre circle.
5 metres back of the centre circle, said the umpire.
Keep coming, keep coming. Time back on.
With a bit of angle, Scotland. Oh, he's put that into space for Hampson. That is a sensational kick.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Cozzy be very, very disappointed with that. He pushed back to the goal square just thinking that it was going to be a long kick, and Hampson just plonked himself 20 metres out.
He's having a ribbing blue with Brendan Goddard at the moment. They're both pointing fingers at each other, one saying, hey, you had to go and man up, and he had to. That's his man. You've got to pick him up.
That was a magnetic ball. It actually drew Hampson to the vacant ground. Hampson comes in, and what must be a goal. It has to be. It's not.
Struggled tonight, big Hampson. Probably played his best ever game last week. Kicked 3 goals, and just about best on ground.
Surprisingly, Das actually started the game really well first quarter, but it's just completely gone out of the game in this last 3 quarters.
33 goals collectively kicked here tonight by both mobs. Malira. Sipos involved. Out the back door, Jamison. Slots up. Allard, little firm to Judd. Allard gets it himself for his 3rd goal of the quarter. Misses to the left badly. So now the clock is a real worry for the Blues.
It's been the most complete performance that I've seen St Kilda put in under Scott Waters. Real insight in the way he wants this side to play, and he'd be really, really pleased with what they've been able to produce tonight.
Yep. They will go into the 8. They'll play West Coast over in Perth next week, the Saints. And for the Blues, they've got Adelaide and Etihad.
Well, what the Saints have done tonight is they did what Essendon did to Carlton. They took away the strength the Blues love, to hold on to the ball with uncontested marks. They've only had 60 marks tonight. Essendon did that to them. They average over 100 a week. And in their 2 losses, that's the thing.
4 and 3 they'll be, the Saints. 7 rounds of footy. Murphy in the middle to Gibbs. Gibbs understands the time and needs to get out of there quickly and kick. Clock is ticking. Gibbs to get it back to under the 20-point margin. He doesn't do that, though. That tops off the Blues' night. 3-2 last quarter in favour of the Saints. Stanley standing up big time with 2 goals for the Saints. And now Graham says, let's steady, boys, and spread. And we'll try and make it a little present-up game over this last minute.
Singing the song down there, the Saints supporters.
Armitage with 22 disposals tonight. Nick Riewoldt has also been good here tonight. 12 touches, 1 goal, 3. Missed a couple of early ones.
He did. Look, it's not a big night on the stat sheet for Nick, but he's worked hard. He's competed, brought the ball to ground inside their forward 50, and their little guy's got the job done tonight. Sometimes it's not your night, but you still need to compete, and that's what he does. He always does that.
Here's the little present-up game. Close the roller door style stuff.
Crowd of 38,823 on Monday night footy, a real success tonight for both clubs.
Inside 50, Milne behind there. Siren sounds. St Kilda have won their 4th game of the year, and they're 4 and 3, and they're into the 8. They're back, the Saints. By the way, the Blues aren't going away either, but they are back in the 8. St Kilda, after this hard-fought win against a team that was in full flight in Carlton, had only lost to the Bombers earlier this year. Other than that, they had played some perfect football. Now, I think Cameron Ling is down there. Let's get down to Ling. He's with Lenny Hayes.
I am with Lenny. Well done, mate. A good win against a really good quality team. It was a battle, high intensity. Must feel great to get a win like that.
Yeah, it was, Lingy. Look, we've had a bit of an up and down year so far, and we really dug in tonight. Carlton are a very good side, and to get the win was great, mate.
I noticed the tackling intensity was through the roof for both teams, but in particular you guys. Is that something you focused on coming into the game?
Yeah, we knew we had to put pressure on. They've got a lot of really good players and really good users, so it was like a finals atmosphere tonight, so it was great to come out of it with a win.
And yourself, mainly in the second half, doing the job on Chris Judd, really sacrificing yourself and the team. You must be pleased.
Oh, mate, I don't think it was just me. It was a number of guys playing. He was such a good player. He's so electric out there, but I thought it was a really good team effort.
Well done, mate. Go and enjoy it.
Thanks, Lenny.
Lenny Hayes, a beauty, isn't he?
Yeah, as we said during the call, as Luke said, his comeback from a knee reconstruction has been unbelievable. And it's just a great win for this club tonight. Some players did some really good jobs.
Let's get down to Lingy again. He's got Lee Montagna.
Well, Joey, good quality win. Put on a bit of a show for your new biggest fan, Liz Hurley.
Yeah, a bit of fun last week. I sent her a jumper, and I thought she would have worn it tonight, but I don't think she did, so I'm a bit flat.
Now, is it true the boys tell me that you actually went out of your way to send her that jumper so that you would end up her favourite player?
Yeah, I did. Smart by me. I know Shane, and I sent her a jumper during the week, and yeah, just a bit of fun, but yeah, it was all good.
And people say footballers are dumb. That's very clever by you, mate. But seriously, a fantastic win against a good quality team.
Yeah, super win. We had a mission all week to come out and play really aggressive footy, and Carlton are a super side, and I thought the boys showed real commitment tonight.
Well done, mate. Go and enjoy yourself.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, it's
Cameron Ling down there with Lee Montagna doing a very nice job indeed. St Kilda by 24, Richo. They controlled the game for most of the night, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They took something off the Blues, and that's what you've got to do to win. You've got to attack your opposition's strengths. They did that, and Milne was great. When the siren went, he gave a bit of curry to the Blues cheer squad.
Oh, he was angry at his best early, wasn't he?
He was great. It was the small guys inside 50 got the job done. And there was Sparrow Ray did a good job on Simpson. Montagna, I reckon, had nearly his best game for the year, and it was a real team effort.
We've had Elizabeth Hurley tweet in, and she has said no idea what is going on, but loved all the action. Her first night at the footy, Lee Montagna's favourite.
Back to Lingy.
I've got Farron Ray here, boys, and the boys have spoke about how good a job you were able to do on Cade Simpson after he'd had a really good start to the game. Must be pleased with that.
Yeah, Simpson's a quality player. We identified Simpson and Scotland. They run amok on the wing, so we just had to tighten down on them and hopefully win the game from there.
You boys extremely dangerous when you're able to get the ball inside 50. A couple of young small forwards in Sada Malera did a terrific job in only their second game of footy and seventh game of footy.
Well, Reece Stanley as well. We've actually got some pace now, the Saints, so we can get them out the back.
Oh, it's fantastic, mate. Go and enjoy yourself.
Thanks,
Very nice work. Lingy all over it down there. Player after player. Those boys are enjoying someone in the stand, and I think it may well have been Liz and Warney hanging out the window of the box up there. In fact, it was.
Yeah, it was good to hear, Farron. They identified those outside wingmen, Scotland and Simpson, and that's what they did. They shut them down, shut down their uncontested marks in space, and that was a big part of why they won this game tonight.
Won every quarter of footy tonight, the Saints. They won the first by 2, the second by 15, the third by 3, and the fourth by 4 points. So it was a very consistent performance.
Sometimes you just need a win like that Monday night footy, the whole footy world watching, just to have that belief in yourself. Maybe we are good enough for one last crack. We talked through the coverage about their top 7 players. They are all guns still. And I reckon tonight they might go home and think, hey, you know what? We might just have one more go left in us.
Number 4 for the Saints. They're into the 8. St Kilda 19-8, 122, defeating Carlton 14-14, 98.